I left brain the shit out of it.
If you only love those who act like you and do the things that you want, even the pagans do that. It's Christian love when you love your enemies. Up to and including your enemies. That is Christian love.
And that's where I see the internet losing its mind, and it's like,
Father, forgive them, they know not what they do.
Once upon a time, the kind, benevolent ruler decided that he had had enough of the evil being around. And he's like nothing can exist in my kingdom that is not love. And so slowly all of the evil got like coagulated into a big giant blob as it was making its way out of the kingdom by the power of the Cree. But then some little jackass kid saw the big blob of evil and was like, I'll love you. And so all of that evil was going to go into the child. And everybody thought that would be a terrible idea, to have it all concentrated into one kid. So he decided that they'd all love it a little.
Good evening, Embody. Just a reminder, we've got a Northwestbury Waning Pink Moon Campout 2026 coming up in 2 weekends. Today's ostensibly the last day to RSVP with Noah, but you can probably get in under the wire if you really need to. But yeah, if you want to come join us, we're going to do a camp out here and then another one in June. And the June one, we're going to try and do a bunch of different people in different places, all camping on the same day. I think tentatively, I'll go ahead and put a date out just to, because Juneteenth is the 19th, 20th, 21st. So I think we're going to try and do the weekend of the 27th and the 28th. That way we're not competing with anybody else who's doing 3D weekend campouts and stuff like that. So we will see if we have any other takers. I know we're going to do something up here in the Northwest, and we have tentatively maybe folks doing something over in California and down in Florida. So we'll have more details as time goes along, and hopefully we'll make that happen. Getting a grip, a greater regional ingression protocol. So, and with that out of the way, on to the show. Good evening, Embody. Afriel here. We hope you're feeling virtually not alone. And tonight we're going to talk a bit about what one ought to want to want. So first we'll go ahead and get in. We're just picking up where we left off in Frostpunk. But yeah, so the topic from today comes from me talking with one of my brothers on the phone during the week last week, or maybe it might have been the week before. And one of the things we were talking about was just the ideas around like economics and him being kind of blue church bubble, thinking in terms of like capitalism as like this derogatory term. And so one of the things that I was pointing out to him was that, and I made a comment about this to Chad on a YouTube comment section as well. There seems to be this weird sort of like conglomeration of definitions as far as capitalism goes. Howdy, Spatch. You're early tonight. And I'm going to talk first and then I'll start playing because I want to get this out of the way in like one fell swoop. So there's kind of two ways that capitalism gets used as a term, and one of those ways is as just this derogatory term that gets thrown. Oh, howdy, Ron. There we go. Okay, I'm safe. I can have somebody to talk with. I'll rant for a little bit and then I'll hop into Discord and then you can tell me what you think. So anyway, capitalism, derogatory term. I've always been here. You never leave, Spatch? God, you guys are just derailing the crap out of me. So, derogatory term towards any person or group of people who believes in ownership of the means of private ownership of the means of production. And that understanding gets conflated with the particular thing that the American economic system is, which is this weird blend of corporatism, consumerism, and just outright greed in a lot of cases. And the issue that I take with that is you don't have to get those things from having a private ownership of means of production. And a lot of what we talk about when we talk about economics is how do we efficiently deliver on the wants of what people have that are existing wants, but we don't really talk about how those wants and desires and needs get changed and shaped over time. And I think that that's a really important missing part of the conversation. Is it's not just about what do people want now, it's about how do those wants get projected out into the future. What in one individual, what do they want, how does that change over the course of their lifetime? And then also when you have groups of people together, like if one person in a neighborhood gets a fancy new car or a lawn service or something that other people around them are going to see, then their wants are going to change based off of what they're seeing from other people. And some of that's keeping up with the Joneses, some of that's pure envy or jealousy, but some of that's also just like, oh wow, I didn't realize I could do that in that way. I'm going to change what I'm doing to match what they're doing. So there's a lot of stuff that can shift around as far as that goes. So that's the meat and potatoes of the rant over. So I'm going to hop into Discord because my voice is giving out, and if I can get somebody else to cover some of the airtime, that will be very helpful. So hop in the gaming couch and stream. And we'll see if Ron wants to join me, or if Spatch wants to join me, or if anybody else is out there listening and wants to come in and give their thoughts, or tell me why I'm wrong, or own me with facts and logic. Any of those things. Alright, so when we left off, it was evening time. We're upgrading our ironworks. We have field kitchens going in there, and with the coal mines. How are we doing on... Oh, I hear a Ron.
How are we, sir?
We are good, sir. How are you doing this evening?
Not bad. You sound like you have some sort of foreign agent attacking your sinuses.
I do. I have since Sunday, so...
Oh, no.
Yep. I got off
May I
stream
do-
on Saturday, and then I played way too much EU4, stayed up way too late, and then finally went to bed and got up the next morning and was not feeling well. So, and I've just been
Dude.
fighting it off all week. It's probably COVID. Probably COVID.
Well, I'll tell you what. May I do my thing?
Of course.
All right. If you want, put your hand on your sinuses. You don't have to. Lord, in the name of Jesus, for your son Afril, right now we curse this virus and or bacteria. It doesn't matter what it is. Command you to die, and we speak life over Afril and his household. And Lord, that by the whipping you received, that he is healed. So pain, leave, swelling, leave, inflammation, leave. And Lord, we thank you for complete restoration in Jesus' name. Amen.
And the same of that again for Mrs. Pilotson, because I got her sick too.
Oh, dude. All right, Lord.
You
From the
don't
top.
have to. You got to do the hold up prayer again. You got to say the whole thing.
Lord, and because they are one flesh, I pray for both of them at this time, a 7-10 split that you do it, and we thank you, Father, in Jesus' name. Amen.
God bless.
Oh my God.
Well, thank you, Ron. I appreciate that.
Totally welcome. So, what is the ranting of rants tonight? Money and desire and.
Well, talking specifically about the fact that when you have discussions about economics, most of the time it's about how do we fulfill existing wants rather than any sort of a discussion about what people already want or what they want to want or what they ought to want. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. And then it's because what comes to my mind is making them want what you want them to want.
Well, and there's a lot of mind control involved in that, yeah.
So
Because it can be very profitable if you want them to be addicted to alcohol and drugs and pornography, and you can easily funnel all of the value that they are generating directly into some sort of a consumption that you can then just like keep them constrained by.
Okay, so with that out the way, you already know that. So where are we at? Because so let's say, just for the sake of grins and giggles, it's not an evil dictatorship, or nobody's just trying to kill people slowly to get money out of them. But you're trying to make a buck, and are you trying to find the next trend? Or
When you say you, are you talking to me or are you talking to theoretical people? Like, what's the you direction there?
Oh, to you.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's just pretend like they're not some tobacco company trying to get kids to smoke. It's let's say it's Coca-Cola. Or what would you like it to be?
I mean, food in general. If you look, have you seen the stories about people who will come from Europe or Japan or China, and they'll come to America and they'll gain like 40 pounds, and then they go back home and then they immediately lose it again? So,
okay.
like, our food, which, by the way, if you want to look into, like, fact check me on this, but a lot of the tobacco companies, when tobacco was starting to get some unwanted attention, a lot of them shifted their holdings into food companies. And so it was a game of okay, well, how can we make food addictive then?
Oh.
Yep.
Hence my Oreo addiction.
Yes.
Actually, it was chocolate. Yeah. Okay. Oreos, chocolate chip cookies.
Yep.
You told me this. Like Philip Morris owns those companies or something like that. That's freaking.
Yep.
Shady.
Yep. And so it's one of those things where if you deliberately try and keep your food consumption to things that are good for you, to things that are low, like not as strongly processed kind of stuff,
Right.
then you'll probably be okay. Like if you're doing whole grains, if you're doing animal, like it's kind of hard to mess with animals, although there is some argument to be had about like corn-fed beef versus grass-fed beef,
Right.
the quality difference there.
Okay.
So then that becomes a question, like, and that ties back into what I was talking about, is like, if I'm somebody who realizes that a lot of these food companies are pretty much actively trying to poison, then what I should probably try and do is want better foods for me, even if it's slightly more expensive to do so. And like that requires me to make deliberate choices, though, and have price preferences that differ from what the typical person would want. And when you try and like factor in the economics of that sort of decision making, it then becomes a much more thorny question. Like, because if one of the things with a lot of economic analyses is this assumption of interchangeability of goods. And if the goods are not interchangeable, or if the person who is making the decision about what goods to purchase has an understanding that there is a difference in quality between X good and Y good, then that makes it so that they're going to approach that calculation of what to buy very differently. But again, like what's equivalent goods? And then there's also the consideration of like similar things, like pork, beef, and chicken is one of the analyses that gets combed over by economists a lot. Because if I just want animal protein, then a lot like beef is like good, but it's usually more expensive. And so if I want animal protein but I don't want to pay the premium for beef, then I can do rotisserie chickens, I can do pork loins, like I can do other things that cost less dollars per pound, but I still want beef sometimes. So
Right. Well, what is coming to my mind is poor folk.
The po?
Yes, that's exactly it. Like, yeah, it's going to be about how much you can spend, what you can afford. And as you said, it's like about what do you want? Like, what's your tax bracket?
Well, and it's about, like, given that you are confined by the resources that you have available to you, what are you going to prioritize?
I think if you prioritize, and if you have an understanding, even if you're poor, if you know you can go to the bulk food section of that store in town, like it's not Walmart, it's that other place, like if you're smart enough and you can plan, I wonder if you can navigate it that way. But it would also be, you might have to not have something that you think is valuable to everyone else, so they can eat right. And what comes to my mind is internet. And I'll goof around with this. I pay $25 a month for my phone. And I have 30 gigs of high-speed internet. After that 30 gigs, I'm just back to dial-up. Now, it's a pain. Like, I'm talking on my phone now, and I can't have video on. And I'm like, whatever, I don't care. I'm still talking to my friends. But I'm saving $40 a month, so that and that comes out to $500 a year.
Mhm.
It just by one expense that I can spend somewhere else.
Mhm.
And if you have the ability to pare down your finances so that you can afford good food, let's say for your kids, because like you realize you don't want your kid to be obese or sick or whatever, and you want them to eat right, so you give up something that might be a luxury.
Mhm.
Like, internet's not mandatory for it's just about feels like it, but
Mhm.
if you can give up something, well, it's to give up something to get something else.
Mhm. Yep.
I'm thinking you'd have to value the food more than something else
Yep.
if you could. Otherwise, or if you can be taught how to shop smarter,
Mhm.
which I think might be. I think people aren't taught how to. I think also they're not taught.
No, they're very rarely taught how to shop intelligently, and I think that
Mhm,
that's probably somewhat deliberate. I'm not super sure about
mhm.
that, but
I bet, yeah, dude. All right, this is I'm now gonna get on a soapbox. I'll make it short.
Mhm.
I got kids when I was a substitute teacher, and I just kids in general.
Mhm.
I'm not talking about the street kids that you can tell like they're gonna have a rough future.
Mhm.
They know on average, just for the guys,
Mhm.
they know football teams, they know the player on the teams, they
Mhm.
know their stats,
Yeah, of course.
they know and I'm like, dude, if you were to apply that to like real world stuff,
Mhm.
they wouldn't be
Be
poor.
money.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Pardon.
Yeah, no,
So,
that's 100% correct.
so here's the deal. I'm convinced after seeing the Joe Cool ads, they got busted for wanting kids to smoke.
Mhm.
That was it's and I hope you can stop me from going here, but it's almost like they don't want. It's either it's either conspiratorial
Mhm.
and effective or just cultural ignorance.
Mhm.
Just like does the government say it doesn't bother me, like
Mhm.
they're gonna vote for me, and um, if we got a bunch of fat sick kids, well, we got Ozempic now, and that's something that healthcare.
Mhm. There's definitely not going to be any negative health consequences associated with that. Surely not.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
We've never had
What?
untried medicines or things that we just pushed out en masse to people and had.
I mean, not without a waiver.
Oh, I don't. Do you know? Howdy, Slack. Do you know what thalidomide is?
Oh heck yeah! Oh yeah, that
So,
was here. Let's go play volleyball. We'll talk about it.
mm-hmm.
Mm. Well, all right. Now that I'm off my soapbox,
Mm-hmm.
you okay? What you have a background in this?
Mm.
What would be something that would you got to play? It's not so much the devil's advocate, but
Mm.
maybe what's really going on, not black pill or white pill.
I mean, I think that in the majority of cases, it's just a matter of like people don't understand or realize how important it is for them to take a measure of control over their own lives, that they are relatively content to, and I don't mean this in as demeaning of a way as it comes across, but they're functionally animals like not in terms of like, oh, they're animals, but like
Right.
that they just don't have as much of a conscious awareness of like what's going on around them. It's not like you're not just born a human being. You become a human being with time, is the way I understand it. And so like if you're just not there yet, you know, like a lot of people are just in that situation where they're just not there yet.
Well,
I mean, fuck, I'm on the journey still. Like I, to a large degree, have like adolescent tendencies.
I don't know.
I stayed up till like 2 or 3 in the morning playing EU4 after last weekend stream. So.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Not healthy.
All right. Well, and here we are praying. All
yeah.
Right. Well, all right. Well, doesn't matter. When Jesus healed, he never asked what you do, and he just said, "Okay."
Mm-hmm.
So, with that out the way, Lord heal him. But where were we at? Because I got hold on that joke. That was pretty good. Where was I at? What was going on? Because I was gonna do.
You're talking about. We talked about thalidomide, and you said you wanted to play volleyball, and I wasn't quite sure where you're going with that.
But it was. That was a joke because
okay.
People with no names. Ha ha ha. Sorry. Right? Subtle dark humor. Maybe not. It was too subtle. Sorry.
What was what was that? I just didn't quite understand what the humor was for.
Well, because it was the kids with the thalidomide, I can't pronounce it, had no arms.
Oh, the kids are volleyballs. Oh, I was not picking up on that. Ron, you're a bad man.
Thank you. I mean, maybe
that
it's
is
not
really
funny. Oh, okay. Thanks. All right. There's dark humor. I was like, oh, man. All right.
No, that was really funny.
Sorry. All right.
Straight to jail. Yes.
So here's the thing. When you say being human, let's go back to, because Chad had a freaking outstanding conversation with, I forget the fellow's name. I met him, talked with him. And I don't want, it's on the internet, so it's not like it's a secret. I just don't want to smear it around. But the guy's going through a hard time, and Chad's going to help him. So, but becoming human is dealing with our problems, recognizing them. I think we're born fully human and damaged.
Okay.
And I'm getting very I'm going all God, so I'll try not to go there too much because
no, you're spitting fire. Keep going.
All right.
Don't let up.
Okay. So you're dealing with the wants. Okay. When your heart isn't properly aligned with only your wants of the moment, hedonism, you're gonna run amok. You're gonna go to fast food, processed food, salty, fat, packaged, quick, convenient, because it scratches the itch, and you maybe don't have much hope for the future, or you just have not been raised in an environment where you had even the options to think about shopping different or eating different, and or both. You've never been taught, like you just don't know any better.
Yep.
And until the wants and desires are dialed in, which usually happens after something catastrophic. Let's go with the average thing. Diabetes. You need to lose weight or else you'll be diabetic.
You will start losing parts of you to diabetes. Howdy, Olsen.
Or else you just have to take insulin and you're like, I don't want to do that.
Yep. You're going to be doing things like this for the rest of your life, and that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah. So when you deal with the broken heart, you deal with the broken choices. But in conjunction with that, it's not so much that the broken heart automatically heals the choices, but I think it helps a heck of a lot. I know it does.
It does for
And
sure.
then after that, yeah, okay. And then you need to be educated in some way. And like a lot of people that I see that come into church, they'll stop drinking, they'll stop smoking, and then they start eating healthy. Not always, but it happens. And then they don't get addicted to being healthy, but they like it, and it becomes the opposite of the addiction, and they can throw themselves into it, and just become a physical monster, or at least running marathon, whatever. I think I was kind of that way. I was a scrawny burnout, and I'm not like, I'm not now. I'm a fat more. No, I'm not a fat. No, I'm big bone. Leave me alone. Actually, man, we're dealing with that. We are, and actually, okay, I am dealing with spiritual issues. Nothing bad, but I'm just really housekeeping. Starting to fast and like it. I'm not trying to both. Huh?
Housekeeping.
All right, we're here to take the fat out. Here, let's start by shutting your mouth, okay? And by the way, I'm talking about this as I'm eating chips, dip, and like Cheese Whiz. So hypocrisy is not running amok, but it's pretty entertaining because
Also,
I'm learning.
Real quick, Olson, yep, this is the same town that I've been working on for a few weeks. We had a break last week to play some EU4, and then was out the week before that because I was sick. And yeah, Slack is correct that Fat Thor is not an aspirational image.
Heck no. Well, but what I'm doing is I'm fasting, but it's for spiritual reasons, and I know there will be. And almost I'm sick of eating. Like I'm having fun now because it's like Saturday night. I just got done with a fast, and I don't like talking about it, but not too many people are going to watch this, so But what I had to get to a point is where I wanted to change, and there was a spiritually and physically, and I wonder if that's part of why it doesn't happen on a national scale either. It's not being presented as a thought and possibility. I don't want to say it's being kept back, but it's definitely not being presented because you can't make money off of people getting healthy.
No.
Usually.
Well,
getting sick you can.
Well, the thing is that it's... How do I... Like, there is value in being healthy, and I think that if you actually looked at it properly, you would see that it's actually more worthwhile to have, like, if you are thinking about the government from a business perspective, and you're thinking about your people as your assets that are available to you.
Right. Yeah.
And you want to improve your assets. Like that's what, like, you want to improve your ability to make profit. Then the way that you do that is by making your people better. But if you don't see them as your people, if there's not a stewardship or an ownership sense within the sort of ruling class, then they're going to start entering into a very extractive mindset.
So would that be like South or North Korea?
Not so much, actually. I think North Korea, like, there's a lot of corruption there, but I think that there's still some sense of, like, noblesse oblige. Like, it's definitely warped and twisted, but I think that there is still a sense of noblesse oblige.
No, but really? I mean, I'm glad you think that, because I was thinking he thinks of them as cattle, just
Maybe
working machines.
that might be the way that they're thought of. Like, I'm not gonna dismiss that by any means.
Well, because the that girl lady who came from North Korea, real pretty lady. She was making the tour with.
I think I know what you're talking about.
forget-
It's been a minute, but I think I know what
Okay,
you're talking about.
and dude, she just described like District 13.
Oh yeah, no,
And I'm-
it's not good there by any means. The point that I was trying to make is more that what's the psychology of the people who are in charge, right? That's the question to answer. And so, like, I don't necessarily
Okay.
think that, like, the people who are in charge, like, there's definitely a lot of corruption and a lot of, like, I have earned the right to have the accesses that I do, and so there's a certain entitlement that comes from that. But I don't necessarily think, and I, again, could be wrong, but I don't necessarily think that there is the same sort of extractive mindset from, like, North Korea's elites to its people as we seem to be seeing in America between our elites and our own people.
Okay. Well,
And that might be a
That's
very
interesting.
controversial take.
well, here's the thing. At this point, after Island Man got busted, like, all right, it's like this. If you got a mafia boss running like you're in New York and you're paying protection money, and there's actual real protection, you know, and there's a hierarchy that's consistent. And, if you leave them alone, they leave. Well, wait, I don't know if this, because when I heard about the files getting released, I'm like, okay, they're straight to bunch. Just bad.
Yep,
Now,
it's real bad stuff. Real bad stuff.
yeah, right. So the thing is with North Korea, if they're being bad like a mafia boss, they're corrupt, but yet performing a consistent function, yeah, is it beneficial to the people, or at least keep society stable?
Yep. Beneficial enough that it's not going to tear everything apart.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Okay, I'll put it this way. If you had enough money in North Korea, from all your grifting, you leave people alone. You're just without the acting evil.
Well, do you though? And this is the sort of, like, defense against the dark arts part of this idea, is like, if when you're trying to talk about, like, economic wants and whatnot, like, it's a very unpleasant thing to think about, but what if I want to have sex with children?
Okay, actually that's actually part of the game. It is feeding perversion.
Yep.
Let's just go there. Let's just assume that is. I wonder, and I'm asking, is that baked into the system?
Well, I think that that's baked into the way that, like, we experience, like, because one of the things that I like to pull from or go to with when talking about economic decision making is the price of salt during the American Revolution and how that shifted over time. Because what happened was we didn't have a lot of salt production in the American colonies. It was all being brought over from Europe. And the war broke out and Britain started blockading America, and then the price of salt basically went 10 times what it normally was. And then it became extremely profitable for anybody who wanted to try and bring a ship's worth of salt over to America to do so.
Right.
And so what you ended up having was, like, you could literally just buy a ship or buy like 5 ships and have 3 of them sink, and you'd still make a profit if the 2 of them made it through the blockade.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if that's exactly how the math worked out, but that's like about what the math was working out to. And so there was salt that was getting through to Americans as a consequence of that.
Yeah. Right.
And so whenever you have a situation where one group of people wants to prevent another group of people from getting something that they want, in this case something as banal as salt, there's going to be growing economic incentives for gray actors to try and provide whatever that thing that they're looking for is, in direct violation of the edicts that have been given by authority structures.
Right. Absolutely. So, well, how does that tie into perverse nature of man being fulfilled as he's making money?
Because when you have a perverse nature of man, then it's not going to be something that's universally wanted. Like, when you had the legalization of drugs in a country like Portugal, not everybody went out and started doing heroin. Like, a lot of people realized that doing drugs actively like that is not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for your family. It's going to be something that consumes you.
Right.
And so you're making that available, though, and so now more people who might have wanted to are going to potentially go in that direction. And you're reducing the barriers, you're reducing the friction of what, like, the costs associated with getting a hold of that stuff are.
Right.
And so you get into this very quickly bad situation where you are encouraging people to do things, to engage in behaviors, to purchase material to engage in those behaviors that is destructive to them. And then once they have formed that addiction, like one of the big problems in my mind, and the reasons that I don't think that you should just generally legalize drugs, is if somebody gets addicted to crack cocaine or meth in particular, that the all-powerful nature of that addiction is something that ends up becoming, like, very consuming to them. And like, they can make enough money for a while to kind of feed that habit, but eventually they're going to start running out of money. And then once they start running out of money, then they are going to start doing criminal things in order to continue funding that habit.
Right.
And so it's not just about, like, what is this person going to do in isolation, it's what is this person going to do in combination, like, what are the downstream effects going to be as this person, like, engages in this behavior.
You're gonna die. You're gonna go.
I mean, we all die eventually. It's just you'll become the Usain Bolt of dying.
Sorry. You're gonna destroy yourself.
Yeah.
You and others. So I'm thinking about Epstein in all of this, because the difference between Epstein and a corrupt official in North Korea, what's the difference? Or do eventually they start to look like Animal Farm, when they all start to look the same at the end?
All the pigs are the same.
I mean, is it just feeding the flesh, and eventually you reap the flesh and you become the flesh? Sin. And it, like in North Korea lately, does life become cheap and you start to, like, I don't know what their vices are there.
Yeah.
So in the Epstein, it was perversion. If you're Pablo Escobar, it's money and perversion, but in murder, but mostly money. And then both of them deal with a broken nature that is being catered to. And if you have, let's say you have an actual happy married family, it's middle income, and they want to homeschool and eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's expensive because one of the parents has to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to figure out how to buy food that doesn't suck.
Yep.
And what I've seen now, because actually I know somebody who did it, they just had to budget.
Yep.
And it was, I forget this one, there's this biblical counselor, economic counselor, that if I said his name, it's very common. It's like, save 10% of your money,
Mm-hmm.
invest another 12 in some, and then,
Well,
and
yep. Well, that goes to something else that I don't know. Like, Slack is probably going to be very receptive to this, but I don't know how, like, generally people would be receptive to this. Most Americans are functionally slaves.
I'm listening.
Like, they're slaves that get some choice in who their master is, but
Right.
they don't really get to choose who their master is. Like right now, I'm in a situation, and nobody at my work knows that this exists, so I don't feel bad talking about this. But like,
Right.
I tried to shift to another job, which he already knows about that, so it was a while ago. And I was unsuccessful in that effort, and like I could probably be more earnest in that for sure. So like it's not like
All right.
if I really wanted to shift jobs, I could probably shift jobs. But
Right.
I'm also in this situation where like I can't easily leave, not without some
Okay.
significant level of effort, and then they can't easily like get rid of me because I'm serving an important function for them that they can't easily replace, especially when we had a couple of people quit and move on to other work as well recently.
Right.
So it's like,
Okay.
like I am actually needed, and
Right.
they can't just like even if I wasn't, even if I'm not working up to the standard that they want me to, they
Yeah.
need to keep me around because they don't have a better alternative.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
And so there's this weird tension there of like,
Yeah.
I don't
I
necessarily
understand.
want to be here, and they don't necessarily want me to be there, but nobody can do without what we've got going right now, so we're just gonna quietly allow the status quo to exist.
Okay. So you're saying, because we were talking about slavery, most people are, so how does that relate to slavery?
The fact that like I am locked into a mortgage, I am locked into a particular standard of living, and like especially when you have a significant other and they have expectations about how things should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like especially if you have any desire to bring kids into the world, like you have to have a certain level of wealth available to you in order to be able to provide for them properly.
Sure. Absolutely.
So
I agree. But here's the thing. I'm going to push back on the word slave.
okay.
I think, actually, okay, and it's not just, you're not just a cog in a machine, that you are a valuable cog at this moment.
I'm a valuable
if this
cog,
is
but
actually-
I like there's a bunch of stuff that if I had the time, money, and space to go and do,
Yeah.
then I would go and do it. But and like things that I think would genuinely bring value to the world. Not just like
Okay.
me going and playing video games all day. Like stuff that
Yeah.
like trying to set up micro hydro on the Olympic Peninsula. That would be something that I would love to put a ton of time and energy into, but I can't because I'm
Okay.
stuck working 40 hours a week and then whatever like house maintenance stuff on top of that. So
All right.
don't really have the time available, don't really have the funds available, and not paid well enough to
Right.
like, and this is the thing that really bugs me is like, and why I say slave specifically. You're not being paid on a per job basis, and you're not being paid in a way where you can work for a while and then go do other things for a while and then work for a while. Like
Right.
you are constrained in that you must be in a place at a time
Yeah.
every day, or you don't get to live. Like you get to choose your
No.
master, You get to say,
wait. Okay. Now, Joseph, you are not in Pharaoh's. You are not in Potiphar's house,
no,
and you are. Yeah, I know, but I'm
but
joking.
but the notion that like people have of slavery is this notion of like chattel slavery, and when like that's not even biblical necessarily. Like you look at how Roman slavery worked and how very often people who were slaves, like either captured from war or whatever, that they very often would buy their freedom.
Right. Okay.
And so, like, it's the way that we have an understanding of slavery is this very modern, constrained understanding because of the way that chattel slavery worked. And that's not what I'm referring to. I'm not talking about like, oh, you don't do your job, you're going to get beat, you're going to get whipped. Like, I'm talking about like you don't have a choice. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I agree with you. Okay, let's go with. I reluctantly concede. Yeah. Okay. You don't work. You don't eat. That's. And it's, if you don't work the 9 to 5, you can't go live in the woods anymore.
Nope, you can't. And that's the other thing too, is like you're very much constrained by like you have to, like, you're not allowed to exist outside of society in America. Not
Well,
really.
yeah. Well, is there any place in the world where you can allow it? Well, actually, I take that back because I think Mexico.
I would say there's probably
Actually, Mexico.
plenty of places that if you tried to find them, you could ostensibly be off grid, off the radar.
Because I know there's a missionary I know who does a lot of work in Mexico. He goes, there's a lot of nowhere in Mexico.
Yep.
You'll have villages. You know, they're not uncharted, people groups, but they're just
off in the boonies.
Yeah. All right. So, pardon me. In America, you either are part of the machine, or you're living down by the river, not even in a van.
Also, Olson's saying that you're allowed to be off grid a lot more than most places, and sort of like you can be off grid as like a homeless person. You can be off grid, but the point that I'm trying to make is that if you want to be like a productive, normal person who, like, if you want to like build a residence on a piece of land, like you're not allowed to do that really anywhere.
Well,
like you couldn't just go out onto public land somewhere, build a cabin, and live your life out there. Like if they found out that you had built that cabin, they're going to come, they're going to arrest you, they're going to knock down the cabin, and then you're going to like you'll be punished however you're going to be punished.
All right. So, had that ever been around here except for the Native Americans? And so this, and I also want to think about, I'm also the heart. It comes back to the heart. Okay, so what is the opposite of the saying? The beast wants what it wants and it gets what it gets. Because that to me is the
takes what
heart.
It wants and gets what it gets.
Oh, okay. Takes what it wants, and gets what it gets. What? Because that to me is that describes the human heart, the broken human heart. Like, okay, you want to know what the fallen nature is? Here you go. What would be the opposite of that, and how can you live it out? Because that's what I think I'm.
Ooh. Well, first, let me answer Olson's thing, and then I'll get back to that.
Yeah.
That's how it is in most places, and I'd agree that is how it is in most places. There's very little unclaimed land or land that would not be contested in some way, shape, or form if you were to try and stake some sort of a claim on it. And I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing per se. It's more that there's just very little, like, it would be a lot less of a problem to me personally if there weren't such a great degree of constraint on the places that exist. And like there's good reasons for some of it. Like, you don't really own your house, and the reason you don't really own your house is because eventually you're going to die, and you don't like the city or like the people around you don't want your property to go to crap. So it's there is a sense in which like it shouldn't just be you making decisions about whatever it is that you own, because you're not going to be here forever. We want to make sure that you're not screwing over whoever comes after you. But at the same time, and this is the deep frustration that I have, if I just wanted not just what was best for me, but also what was best for me in a way that not just didn't screw the next person over, but actively helped them, then that would be that would be even better than if I was being constrained by the law to do or not do certain things. And some of it's also born out of ignorance. Like, if I don't know what the electrical codes are and I try and do some modifications on my house, there's a good chance that I'm going to introduce fire risk that doesn't need to be there. And so like ignorance plays a role in this too. But assuming that I am taking the appropriate steps, assuming that I am like calling in an electrical contractor to check my work after or something like that, I think that there's a lot of unnecessary restrictions that are based off of this assumption of incompetence that really needs to be worked on. And like, what I mean when I say that is like, if you improve the quality of the people that are in your society, then you don't have to assume incompetence as commonly. Like, you can actually start to say, oh yeah, like this like we can assume that this person's gonna do things in a way where they're gonna be doing it properly here, and here, or we can at least check up on it. So also don't worry about it, Olson. Your messages are coming through fine. It was a little hard for me to like verbalize it in a way that made sense to everybody else, but I understood intuitively what you meant. And then Embergate says he was a slave to his passions, and maybe that doesn't connect to the conversation, but that's what comes to mind with the title. And I think that is actually
No, I like that.
Yep.
That's exactly it.
If I can get you addicted to alcohol, then I can make you a slave to, because like you're having to spend so much of your money on alcohol that it's not available for you to do other things that would be beneficial for you long term in terms of like infrastructure around your house or whatever.
Last night, Chad had one of the best conversations I've heard in a long time about the nature of addiction and the nature of desire. And man, everything that we're talking about
lines up with that.
Yep. And like, it really was like, this is gonna sound so bad. It was so enjoyable. It was one of the most enjoyable conversations I've ever heard about addiction as someone was wrestling with it. And by the way, there was a happy ending. He's going to get help. But my point is, it is about the heart. Because what you were talking about just now, when you were talking about making things better, is actually walking in love.
Yes.
Because, and so, all right. So here's the deal. If you were to do that, if people were start doing what you're talking about, you wouldn't have to change the laws at all.
No.
Because I think the laws would get fulfilled not out of obligation, but out of proper desire.
Yep.
And actually, everyone would probably forget the laws, even if they didn't remit them, because everyone would be doing the right thing. And then people, you start getting happy.
Well, and that's what the goal should be, is that you don't have to have written laws, because people understand what the spirit of the law is and are able to act according to that spirit. Like, the reason that we have written laws and enforcement in the way that we do is because of that imperfect fallen nature of man.
Right. and that's it. And the laws will never work.
Well,
They're gonna.
they do
Yeah.
work. They do work as a stopgap, right? Like it's not to say that like this
Okay.
is just
Yeah.
a
You're
complete
right.
and total waste of time and effort. But
Yeah.
it if you don't understand it as a stopgap, if you don't understand that what you are trying to do is to correct for a different imperfection, then you can
Right.
easily get lost in this notion of, well, if we just make the right laws, if we just put the right
Right.
words on pieces of paper, then everything will be better. And it's like, no, it's not. That's not how this works.
Communism. Is that not Karl Marx's of communism?
That's not just Marx. That is a lot of like philosophical theory.
Really?
I mean, like the Joseph, screw you, dude.
Uh-oh.
I tried to play my save file for EU4, and it did not end well before I called it quits for the night. We'll put it that way. Shoot, I lost my train of thought. I should have waited until after we were done with that.
No, we were talking about communism and
Communism.
I can bring
So, a lot of people have a misunderstanding about how like orders and legal systems and stuff work. Like they have it backwards in terms of like they think that you say a thing and then everyone is obligated to do the thing that you told them to do, and that's how laws work. Is you tell them to do and then they do. And that's not how laws work. What laws actually are is the written formalization of whatever it is that people are coming to an agreement about.
So they already figured it out and they're just putting it in words? Is that it?
That's what it actually is.
Oh. Oh, okay. So they're like, oh, we shouldn't kill anybody. Right? We shouldn't be killing each other. Yeah, okay, yeah. So let's put that down on paper so we're all on
We're all on the same page, right?
Yes, that was moments after Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
Like, okay, guys, listen, we got an idea here.
We had
Make the
three
mafia go
people.
on.
We had 4 people, and one of them killed one of the other 3.
Yeah, okay. Gotta stop before it gets out of hand. I'm telling you.
Howdy, Foxman.
Oh,
No one ever stole the milk and
oh.
returned the jugs clean to be reused. Yeah. I knew a guy who grew up in a small ditch village, and he used it to put fresh milk out in his front yard with a sign for how much it cost and a jar. Neighbors would come and self-serve. Oh, and no one stole the milk and returned the jugs clean and unused. Yeah.
oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, well, and that's not uncommon either. Like one of the things that I have talked about trying to encourage a friend of mine to do is because he got a log dump from a landscaper,
Yeah.
and he's chopping up the wood, and I was like, hey dude, you should ask your neighbor out by the road if you can put up a little firewood stand and then just like have different partitions that you just fill with wood.
Yeah.
And then it's like $5 for this, $10 for this, $20 for this.
Yeah.
And then, like,
Yeah.
but the problem is that if you live in a low trust society, you can't trust people, one, to take only take the what wood they're going to and then pay for it. And then you also can't trust that people are going to leave the till alone, that they're not going to just get into it and take what they want.
Okay, so this is in my neck of the woods.
Mhm.
They have fruit stands all year long.
Mhm.
Tomatoes, corn. I mean, a lot of produce. And they have it works.
Mhm.
I've seen it. You got, they like you clean out the till box every night, but there is a high trust in this area.
Yeah.
And
Well, because you understand that if you were to not pay for the thing, then it's going to stop being available to you, and you want that person to continue producing it, and you also want like if you have a good relationship with that person, you want them to be successful in whatever it is that they're doing, and like for them to continue to grow and prosper.
actually, and I will take this into it is actually the conscience of the area.
Mhm.
Because I think, and maybe I'm projecting, But it really does seem like at that point it becomes a moral thing. It's not just I want you to benefit. It's I could not live with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I would have a guilt. I would be stealing.
Yep.
And it's kind of cool. Oh, okay. Like I got a story for you. This just happened last week. There's a happy ending. It starts off with I lost my driver's license, my credit card, and my debit card that I didn't know that was with my license
Mm-hmm.
and credit card on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So blow it in my pocket. I'm like, oh, dude, I stopped
It's
my
gone.
credit card so fast.
It's gone. I'm not getting that back.
That was not this Friday.
Mhm.
It was the Friday before. So Friday, because I had a tear in my pocket, so I canceled my card,
Mhm.
went to the DMV and got a new license,
Mhm.
and I'm like, okay. Monday comes, I get a call. Hey, go to such and such a place. They have your license. Actually, they didn't even say they said, yeah, some student
Mhm.
turned in my license, my debit card, my credit card, untouched,
Mhm.
and then handed it over to the authorities on campus. So the kid and all the authorities on campus did good.
Mm-hmm.
And I get all my stuff back, and then on Thursday, just the other, day before yesterday,
Mhm.
just about in the same area, crossing the street, they have these little islands for the students to stand in the middle of the street,
Mhm.
out of the way of traffic.
Mhm.
Twice I found a book bag and then a backpack in the same spot. And I'm like, oh, dude, I got it back. I turned that in so fast. I'm like, you know what, God?
Mhm.
Like, I straight up owe you. And I was like, I'm cracking up. And I think it's conscience.
Mhm.
It's not just,
That's part of it,
so
for sure.
maybe that, okay. So that was my, I think, individual conscience. And I think when, like, laws are good, and I get that.
Mhm.
But when you can deal with the heart and make it at peace, with where you're at,
Mhm.
so that if the rich person's rich, whatever, cool. I've got mine, you've got yours.
So that's
And-
another discussion too. Is like
Mhm.
like there's a fundamental misunderstanding that I see most people having, that wealth is about a static measure of something, and the reality is that true wealth is about having a control over a flow of value, not over something that's static.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's not like I have $100 and you have 1,000.
No.
It's more like, okay, so if it's not that, and I'm
'Cause
not, help me understand this. I do like this.
Okay, so who's more wealthy? The person who has $100 in his bank account and is taking in 10,000 and paying out 9,000 each month, or the person who has $1,000 in his bank account and is taking in 100 and paying out 90 each month?
I would. Okay, I feel like I'm getting baited here, so I want to say the first one is richer.
Yep. He's not
Okay.
currently richer, but he has control over a flow of value that will easily allow him to grow his wealth to whatever it is that he wants to be.
Right. Okay. So, and then at this point, I go, which one's happy? That's the real rich one.
That's another question entirely. The credit card companies are happy.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Yeah, I think it's in the book of Psalms. It goes, and I'm going to botch it, but I'll say that now.
Mhm.
It's better to have bread, just bread, in peace and quiet than fancy food with strife.
Mhm.
So, really, I think it goes back to what can you be content with,
Mhm.
and what can you be happy with. So that if you're that family I was talking about who has kids and you're average income,
Mhm.
and you can give up certain things and be happy,
Mhm.
that would be the tipping point towards the good.
Mhm.
That I'd say, if you're like, if I was miserable not having Wi-Fi, doing stuff,
Mhm.
I'd probably have to say, listen, let me shift the money, not even sacrifice, let me shift getting my daily breakfast on campus, save that money, and just funnel it, not save it, just rechannel it towards getting the Wi-Fi so that I can be happy,
Mhm.
And so I wonder if it really comes down to happiness
Well,
and what you can be happy
what is
with.
happiness? What is that? What do you mean when you say happiness? Right?
The pursuit of happiness. We, the people of these United States, find these truths to blah 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 blah.
Right,
And it
but
was
like what makes you happy?
Mhm,
Like, and this goes back to, again, like, to
mhm,
not to be too
right,
graphic about it, but like,
right.
if the thing that makes you happy is diddling kids.
Okay. So now, then we go back to the heart. So it would a happy, it's happy. It would maybe be the consensus of that which is culturally good. Now, if you're in Bangkok, here's the funny thing:
Mhm.
Epstein in Bangkok
Mhm.
is just another guy. He would have
Mhm.
been. He was just an average dude. Like,
You
oh,
want
you
lady
like
boy?
doing that? Yeah, yeah, exactly. So you're like, yeah. If he would have just stayed in Bangkok, um, and why the hell didn't they just not go to the island if they saw weirdness? Like, hey guys, get in trouble here. Let's just go to Bangkok. Which I don't. Okay, that thought just blows my mind. That
Mm.
just came in my head. I'm like, well, it's like getting busted for prostitution in Vegas when
Mhm.
Nevada's just a drive away.
Just get out of the city
Boy, that
limits, dude. Just get out of the city
yeah,
limits.
exactly. That was I could do some really dark commercials. I'm good at it. It's like for the Catholics, they have this thing called transubstantiation for
Mhm.
the Eucharist.
Mhm.
So I wanted to put in, the Eucharist with a picture of it and go, Catholics, we were trans before it was cool.
Oh, duh.
Dude, is that
Bad.
not dark?
Bad.
Thank you. That's just, I mean, like,
God bless.
just, I don't know what to say about that.
Where'd that come from?
No, I'm like, oh, that's bad. That's how that should be. Like, uh, like I had this one poster because we're gonna go stand on the side of the roads and go for free prayer and like encouraging things.
Mhm.
My sign, I wanted to say, Jesus loves you.
Mhm.
No SHIT.
Mhm.
It should be like, because that's how people talk,
Mhm.
like Jesus loves you. No,
Mhm.
I think Chad could hold that one and own it.
Mhm.
Me, it's just really bad. Just so. Wow, this went to the thunder. I just went dark. It's Saturday night.
It's time for fun.
It's fun for fun. It's like, okay, what shouldn't we say?
Mhm.
Um,
Also,
but no,
Foxman,
actually,
you're good on the Dune references, because that is all. That's honestly what I'm talking about to a degree. Is like, if you control the flow of whatever valuable resource, then that's what is like. You can get other people to do what you want them to do. So the flow of
right.
of something valuable is way more valuable than just having a massive store of that thing. Unless it's so massive that you can outlast whatever constraints that the person who has value is trying to put onto you. Like, nobody would care about the spice flow from Arrakis if they had a supply that was 1,000 years long. Like, they can just say, okay, we'll just blockade you, and then Arrakis is going to be a dead planet in 1,000 years, and we'll just move back in when you're done.
So you either have to be mega rich, so just...
But mega rich, not just in terms of money, but in terms of, like, resources.
Okay. That's... So...
Because you can't eat dollar bills.
Right, okay. Right. What I'm trying to figure... Actually, let me go... So it goes back to wants. I think I wonder, like, there were only a few decent kings in the Bible for the children of Israel. It was David was one, and he was a murderer. But and there was one other. There was well, up until he went wonky with weird idols with Solomon, because he got weird with some idols, and then. Was there King Uriah? I forget. There was one or two that were mentioned that were not in the Hall of Shame. So, and then people prospered because the king was doing right. And I think, all right, so if you want to know what you ought to want, it's whatever will prosper you and others. So diddling kids doesn't prosper others, because a kid has to be sacrificed to fulfill your want. Now, but sending the kid to college, I wonder, doing good for others. That's, I don't want to say that. Well, okay, let me not go down there, because that really doesn't. Well, actually, no. You ought to want. All right, I'll take that back. I will put that out there.
Okay.
Instead of, okay, so wanting to help kids, the future, to succeed, and there might be sacrifice in that. Probably is.
Yep.
Or using your and then.
Well, that's the whole idea of infrastructure writ large, is this notion of, like, okay, what am I going to be willing to sacrifice now for a stream of value in the future?
Right. Okay. Yeah, and so we were talking about big business corporations being in charge, and all they have, I don't know what you call them. And I'm asking, are they spiritual entities? I wonder. And
I think there's a non-zero chance that there's something deeper spiritual going on. There's at least like an egregore kind of a thing going on there.
Okay. Okay. So what is an egregore? Is the spirit of a tribe?
It's a thought form.
Is that okay? A thought form. Okay. So, all right. So most egregores then are short. They don't think long term for the benefit of others. Is that?
I think that they can, but
That's interesting.
I don't know for sure.
Well,
Like,
churches. Well, I could think like a church body has the Spirit of God, and so there's a spirit there, and then there would. I think there are also spirits involved, but if you didn't even want to go spirits, let's say an egregore, because let's say you're a materialist, someone's listening, they're a materialist, I don't believe in spirits. Would an egregore be kosher to a materialist?
Not to a materialist, no.
Okay. What if you called it just a hyper pattern or a pervasive pattern?
Maybe. The problem is that there's a notion there that, like, they exist in some, like, platonic sense, like that there's a form that is separate from the thing itself. And so I think that you're going to
Okay.
have a really hard time getting materialist folks on board with that idea.
Okay. All right. So let's just push it to where the materialists would get just a little bit sweaty,
Mhm.
but not, so they go, well, maybe. Okay. I
Mhm.
don't know. But it goes back to, well, okay. And I jokingly said, what if you're an altruistic hedonist? I want what's good for me all the time, but I also,
But not at the expense
and
of anybody else. Yeah, that
Exactly.
it never ends there though.
I know, but that was so.
Mhm.
That was a joke I had a long time ago. Then it never ends well.
Hmm.
You think?
No, it never ends
Really?
well, because if you're going down the hedonistic rabbit hole, you're
Yeah.
going to end up like the way I saw it put by a guy who claimed that he used to be like a priest in the Church of Satan. It's a little bit more than complicated than
Yeah.
that, just that, but we'll leave it there for the time being.
Yeah.
Like once you go into the candy store, you can tell yourself, I'm only going to touch the candy that I want. But when you sit there long enough and you get tired of the candy that you like, you're going to try
Right.
whatever else is there too.
Yeah. Okay. So that goes back to lust.
Well, not just
Okay,
that's not just
so-
lust. That's drugs. That's everything.
No. I meant the motivation behind it.
Oh, okay.
Lust. Okay. Yeah. And all right. So let's. Okay. You're right. Okay. So, but my joke was it would be strict altruistic hedonism that would have an egregore of cultural benevolent, but yeah, beneficial to everyone. No diddling kids.
No diddling
Yeah,
kids
dude.
allowed.
Yeah.
It's right
Yeah.
out. It's not
And
allowed.
no. First is no killing, then no diddling.
Okay. And definitely no diddling the kids and then killing them. We're definitely not doing
Yeah.
that.
Oh, golly. Oh, I'm even feeling uncomfortable now.
And eating them is right out.
No, that's just. Yeah. You're getting therapy if you need. Yeah. You get boy, just right into the, I don't know, the abyss of. Yeah. All right.
Just stare at it. Just look at it and then go, oh.
Oh. So here's the thing. It's about oughts and wants, and nobody's wants and oughts are proper in and of themselves. And from my perspective, it takes an outside agent. That would be the Holy Spirit operating not as an overseer, but as a mutual beneficial relationship.
Mhm.
That's actually it's going to sound, it's actually one-sided positive, because it's positive towards me, though my nature in and of itself isn't, but actually desires it. It just doesn't know how to do it, and this agent fulfills it so that I can do those things I want to do, and I don't do those things I don't want to do. When normally I don't do those things I want to do, and I do those things I shouldn't.
That sounds very Pauline of
So
you.
I know. It's just ripping him off. Yeah, Pauline. Today's Pauline moment is brought to you by.
Could you imagine if
don't
there was like a church that took sponsorships like that?
Oh my God, that's hilarious! I love it.
Oh man.
See, and then you follow that with, and remember, kids, we're actually parents. Yeah, rule number 2: don't diddle kids.
Nope,
Right?
it's not allowed. Don't do it.
diddling. Yeah, yeah. My joke when I talk to the kids that are like 18 or closer, I'm like, until you say I do, you don't. Any questions? Usually they look at me and they're like, that was fun.
Roll their eyes, just like, oh, this goober.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But it really is. But I'm the guy who will say it. And I'm like, okay.
Because somebody apparently needs to say it to you idiots.
Let's just clear this up real fast. All right, guys. Yeah. So here's the thing. Like I think it always comes down, because you said this. It always comes down to a matter of faith. When you drill down hard and deep enough, atheism and God, it's going to come down to faith. And like I wish, it's so interesting because when you're in those moments, when you can appreciate that statement, you're at a crossroads and you choose. And I think you have help in your choices. But here again, I think what ought one want to want? Even if we know we don't want what is right, and we know it, and we at least go.
Let me interject real quick. How do you say whether how someone determines whether what they are wanting is right or wrong? Like, how do you actually?
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for. No, I was gonna. I'd have to go with scripture for me. It would be, at least as a real good starting point without question. Yes, because so scripture for 200. Judeo-Christian. That 10 Commandments. Work it backwards there. It would be, what 2 commandments Jesus gave at the end. It was love God with your heart, mind, soul, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Therein lies all the prophets, law and the prophets. So that's where I would go, the oughts and the wants, and do my oughts and wants alone.
Does scripture tell me how I should use my phone?
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. I think it does everything. Not so much as Android phones are better than Apple. Not that kind. Yeah, because Apple comes out with some stupid pricing. But I think it's really comes down to it's like a constitutional outline. Like there's certain things like no fornication, don't eat things strangled, and don't eat the blood of an animal. But that was just for the Gentiles, which does not tell you how to operate your phone. However, in the epistles and the words of Jesus, it would I think it'd be easy to find it in there.
Well, and because I think that there is guidance, I think, of like how to behave in relation to things generally that would be sufficient for you to come to the correct conclusions about like, okay, this is how I should engage with this thing. The problem though is how do you actually figure out and decide what the correct interpretation of scripture is? How to behave.
Right. Okay, so when it comes to interpretation, I think there's a couple this is what I'll do. What does the Spirit of God within my heart bear witness to? Like he'll actually tell me when I'm being a jackass. And I'm like, oh man, I need to I don't need anyone to tell me, like I feel it.
That sounds like witchcraft, Ron. That sounds like witchcraft. We're gonna have to burn you at the stake.
No, you got it all wrong. You throw me in the water. If I sink and drown, I'm not a witch. If I float.
But if he weighs less or more than a duck.
Exactly. That's exactly. So, but, and I think, well, actually, witchcraft in this case works too, because it's going to be, okay, so there's lust of the eye, lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. In witchcraft, you will be fulfilling those three. And in Christianity, you'll be like, oh man, but she's hot, Lord. He's like, boy, I'm going to bust you on. Get away.
So, you know better. Knock it off.
Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly it. You know better in some way. And then there's also a public consensus for the Catholics, which I like this word is magisterium. Magisterium. Those, those are like, I don't know if it's like the Inquisition. Now that wasn't a good time. That was a bad consensus, but I think consensus is a thing. It's not done. Knowing what's good and bad and what you should want is not done in a bubble. I think that's, so to answer, as far as your cell phone goes, because like, who was it? Who's the dude who's like coined the machine? Not Tom Holland. Not Martin Shaw. The other guy. I'm sorry.
Kingsnorth?
Yeah, he pointed this out. He pointed out that the Amish will bring in a technology for a while in their community. I think it's the elders that'll check it out. And they'll get a sense of it, whether it's kosher or not. And if it is, it passes. If not, they're like, okay, not kosher. So it's not done by an individual basis. So, going back to what do I do is good. I don't like it myself, but I'm not saying it's bad. But to live by consensus in a larger community might not be a bad thing.
And it usually works if the community, and here's the thing though, and this is why I keep pointing this out and it keeps breaking down, is if you live in a community of pirates, then yeah, everybody's going to be on board with raping and pillaging.
Okay, let's go to North Korea. It's like, or actually, who was it? There was a country, it was one of the Balkan states, that finally, when communism fell, they finally figured out how many people were working
in the death camps or something.
The Secret Service,
the gulags, yeah.
Yeah, well, this was actually during the Cold War time, not too long ago, when back in the 80s, and it was 1/3 of the people were spying on each other.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind. Which means 1/3 of the people really didn't mind the system.
It worked quite well in their favor, actually.
Yeah, well, okay, so I think, okay, so if you have a weird consensus, you can wind up with Hitler.
Well, real quick, let me read something from Foxman, and then I have a question for you. So Foxman was trying to message and got censored by YouTube for some reason. He was just trying to say, he was starting to think about how humans are the best. I have no idea why that would have gotten censored.
What?
And Slack is saying how the bars of no raping, killing, or eating kids is nice low bars that even he could succeed.
You got to have standards.
We're not saying that this is the standards that we should have to have. It's the standards that we are having to have as a consequence of just how bad things are right now. We should be striving for better.
You know what Slack's totally wrong though. You know what? Slack's, because his low bar is Epstein's high bar.
Well, and that's the thing though. I don't think that that's true. And kind of pulling from what Foxman says here is it gives you the wisdom, and now how do you apply it? That's the tough part. Yes, that's you're pulling from scripture. It gives you that wisdom, and you have the Holy Spirit. But what if it's not the Holy Spirit that's giving you advice? What if you are listening to other things and
I can fight. I won't fight back on this, but. I'll give you a story. This is one of my friend's kids.
Okay.
He got put at church and became a Satanist. And hardcore Satanist. He still did good.
Really?
It was funny. There was a girl who was, she was on drugs bad. And she was about to walk into traffic. And he grabbed her and pulled her back, saved her life.
Okay.
I think now, unless you're just an evil murderer, like let's say you just see, he wasn't completely. He was hurt. He was a mess.
Mm-hmm.
But there was still something in him decent. And then later on, he got full on with God, like he had an aha moment. But I've seen it with I've seen it with evil people. Because I did jail ministry with kids, and I would have I had these kids come up to me and tell me some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when they did, they didn't like themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They go, I need help. I do this, and I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget who said it. People are not pure entities, good and or bad. They can be worked on. Mm-hmm. Like angels and or demons are pure entities. You're either an angel or a demon. There's no waking up one morning and being kind of somewhere in the middle. Those guys made up their minds, and they're a different kind of creature. We are not solid 100% one way or another. And I think that might be the saving grace.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, because I've seen it. Buddy named Gino, he passed away a while ago. He made it, but he was a biker enforcer. Mm-hmm. He's a rough guy. But when I met him, we got along great. And long story short, he gave his heart to God. Mm-hmm. The attitude of people towards him changed, and his attitude towards life changed, and then he passed away. It was good to go. Mm-hmm. And then I've just recently, one of my friends in church, won't use names, left his wife and child, and is now drinking, sleeping around. Mm-hmm. And he was in church, and I this is somebody I would pray with. I'm like, now, okay, he is lost right now. He is, and so my job, and I really haven't prayed for him, but this is my heart. Mm-hmm. Lord, I am now turning him over to Satan, so that his flesh, so that he can be chastened, mm-hmm. so that he can have a moment of repentance, so that when he comes back, it's like prodigal son. Mm-hmm. And this is happening. And so it goes back to, it's not just a consensus of a community, but I think there is an innate, I'll be honest, this feels good. I think people have innate goodness in them.
Okay.
And yep. I think what it is, you speak, that feels good talking. So I think there is, because even nature has it. Like even crocodiles, for the most part, don't eat their young. Sometimes they do. Sorry, not all
hungry.
the time.
I'm sorry. I had a hankering.
Yeah. Didn't have a Kit Kat bar, but overall, but no.
You could use a Snickers.
Right. That's it. Joe Pesci did. So there's an innate goodness, and I think, no matter where you go within this planet, mm-hmm. people always laugh and have joy around little babies, mm-hmm. and they always cry at funerals. Mm-hmm. And so there's a baseline, there's an operating system within all people. Now maybe there's a few that are made that I don't know, mm-hmm. But I'm just going to say, in general, I think people are innately good, and it's just a restoration of that innate goodness for me in and through Christ. Mm-hmm. But until then, for the most part, even the bad guys know when they're being bad unless they've been.
I don't think so. I mean, they know when they are doing something that the good guys will see as bad, but I don't think that they don't think of what they're doing as bad.
You're okay. You're right. Okay, you're right. I'll just say that there is within them somewhere innate goodness, and what they do with it. That's what I think you get judged for, but or not judged for, but the outcome of your life will judge you. It's what you do with it. Evil usually begets evil. You know, diddle enough kids, and you wind up suiciding yourself in a secure facility.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he's alive and well in Israel and playing Fortnite.
Oh, well, okay, but let's say he is. Okay, let's say he is. All right, let's go there. That means, okay, so what's going to happen is either two things. It's like being Satan. Your darkness will grow even darker. Like the vacuum increases. Or you sit there in the room playing Fortnite, and there's a moment where eternity talks to you. And you have a realization of who you really are. And then
you are still coming at this from the perspective of someone who already believes in good. Like I am pretty firm on this one. I do not believe that people are inherently good. I think that they always have a spark of goodness in them. That there's nothing like, even if like the darkest, blackest heart. Yeah. But
no, I think yes.
People are fundamentally neutral, and they are polarizing towards good or bad. That's what I see.
People are neutral. That's a new concept I need to vet. Is that so you think they're neutral? I got to think about that. Just for fun, and also because I think I can back it up. No, I disagree for 200.
Okay.
And I'll say this, John. Okay. Obviously, Jesus. We're gonna say he was not born neutral, or would you?
We're gonna say what? Sorry.
Well, okay, because I was gonna say, because I'm gonna pick out someone in the Bible who I can pick out two people I believe are not neutral from birth.
Okay.
Actually, one for sure. I'd say Jesus is not neutral. I think he's positive.
Okay.
But that's too low.
Let me clarify. You can come out of the womb not like at zero and then you're going negative or positive. You can come out of the womb on the positive side or on the negative side, and then you're like your early interactions with other people, in particular your family, can push you in one direction or another. But the sort of like there's like a plus or minus 100 window that is neutral, and that's where most people are coming out. Like you like if you're, it's like a not a dartboard. It's more like you're measuring like the voltage of something. And so like most people are like plus or minus 100 volts, and then over the course of their life they can go into the positive past 100, or they can go to the negative.
That's interesting. I don't know what to. I'm not against. I don't have my head around it. Just so when you're born negative, because actually, the reason I'll say everyone's born positive from what the Bible says, everyone is born with a measure of faith. Everybody. So that means there's a net positive. At least you start that way. and the only one I know who was born not that way was Judas, who was predestined. Maybe he was, well, that's crazy. Maybe he was born positive, but somehow he definitely made some bad life choices.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like that, starting off, that's interesting. Starting off positive. All right, so let me just throw out what I was thinking, and you can do with it as you know how this fits into your equation.
Mm-hmm.
John the Baptist, when Mary entered into Elizabeth's house, Elizabeth was pregnant, and John the Baptist leapt for joy in Elizabeth's womb, and Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit,
Mm-hmm.
and prophesied. And then also, I believe it says at the same moment, so was John the Baptist. So I might be cheating a little bit because he was not conceived with the Holy Spirit indwelling him, but while he was still in the womb, he
Mm-hmm.
was filled with Holy Spirit. And I don't know if that's because when I said there were two people net positive, it was going to be Jesus and John the Baptist, but John the Baptist got it not at the moment of conception, but after. So, but he was just in the womb. So I don't know if that's cheating on my part, but he was a net positive.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so yeah, I think it would be kosher of me to say there were two net positives, so that I think people are born with innate goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's almost like, or at least like eyes, spiritual eyes, because if you didn't have spiritual eyes, you couldn't see God.
Okay.
And or even want or even have a desire. Well, actually, if you're blind in darkness, you don't know you have eyes. It's only when you see God that you recognize in that moment that He is God,
Mm-hmm.
and that you desire. Up until that moment, you might have been totally blind, which is the only way I can round that square would be that you have a modicum faith that you're born with, but it had not yet been awakened or in a moment where it could be utilized or come to faith, faith coming alive. And it reminds me of grain that needs water and soil. You can have grains, in a pot,
Mm-hmm.
but it's, and let's say that pot would be us, the vessel, dry. But it's only when somehow water is added into, the Spirit of God into our hearts, where that faith becomes alive. So that you could be born both. Okay, so both of us might be right. You can, maybe people are born.
The thing is that this is one of those things where we're just going to talk in circles because I don't think there is like a decidable answer for this. At least not from where we're sitting right now. But what might be more interesting to pursue, coming from the comment section, is Christ maxing sacrilegious? Because Foxman thinks, how could it be? But I'm curious what your thoughts are.
Christ
maxing. Being a Christ supremacist.
I don't. You know what? I don't know what that is, but I wouldn't mind trying it. Dude, like that. Is that like the guy who can bench like 500 pounds? Like, yeah, that's right. I Christ max.
Well, do you know what looks maxing is? Are you familiar with that term?
No.
Okay.
No. Oh, is that okay? Is that when you like the uber square jaw?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Specifically, like doing jaw exercises to make your jaw muscles be nice and chiseled.
Right. Right. Okay. So what's now Christ maxing though? Dude, Paul was Christ Maxing. He was the Christ Maximus. And he got whipped. This is how you Christ maximize.
Mhm.
You get, is it 3 times? He got
Pay attention, everybody.
40 left. Yeah. So if you want, hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, would you like to Christ maximize? Well, here's how you do it, kids. First off, be persecuted, be rejected by your comrades, be thrown out of the synagogue. But wait, there's more. You get whipped 3 times with 39 lashes minus, or 40 minus 1,
Mhm.
so you don't die.
Mhm.
And then 5 times you get beaten with rods. Was it 5? I think there's a couple. But wait, there's more. You get shipwrecked for a night and a day, or a couple days. You know, lost, shipwrecked at sea, and then, and I don't even know what this means. He fought with animals, like what? Lions, tigers, bears.
Ron,
what?
this is sounding a lot harder than me just going to church every Sunday. I don't know if I want to commit to this level of commitment.
It's easy. No. But you don't have to, because God, it's grace. That's right. God grades on a curve. You don't go by who you see.
Mhm.
As an example, now you follow in their footsteps, but you do what's expected for you
Mhm.
in the moment you live, and not by, oh boy, I could be really wrong. The expectations of Paul being like, you should not expect yourself to be whipped 3 times, close
I'm going to
to
become a
death.
Christian because I want to get whipped.
You need help, dude. You need to become a Buddhist and get over your desires. Because actually, I know a guy who owns an island. We might be able to work with this.
I don't think you even need to go to an island for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I know, and it's always in Vegas. Yeah, it's somewhere. You live closer to Vegas than I do.
So, Ron, have
Stay
you ever
away.
heard of this thing called BDSM?
Heck no. What? Is it?
We're just going to leave that one alone. We're not going down that road.
Is that BDSM?
That's people tying each other up and having sex with each other.
Wait, are you talking about S&M and all that?
Yeah. It's
okay,
a different name for the same thing.
All right, so a Satanist and a masochist walk into a torture chamber.
Mm-hmm.
The masochist looks at the Satanist. I'm sorry. Wait, you have masochist and what's the other one? Yeah,
a sadist and a masochist.
Yeah, so the masochist looks and is just like in glee of all this torture. He looks at the sadist and goes, beat me, whip me, torture me, and the sadist looks at him and goes,
no.
And that one was, and with that, oh my god, that's so sad. So where were we in the original goodness?
Before we got completely off track.
Right. See, if there wasn't original goodness, we would just keep going down that rabbit trail of swirl and it just go into darkness. But because of the goodness.
Well, and to meet the allegations that are coming at me from the comment section, yes. Part of this stream's purpose is to help make Ron into a more worldly person. So we're right on target for what we're supposed to accomplish.
Well, and also for you to be saintly. So it's a mix and match thing. Like, my humor is getting much more crass and hopefully enjoyable for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think I like it. Like what one want to want. That really is when you said Christ Maximus, Christ Maximus getting back to Paul. Like, no, but it's.
Well, it depends on what and the thing I think is the notion of maxing is itself sacrilegious, and so having that orientation towards I'm gonna it's very much in the same vein as I'm going to optimize my actions to make sure I get into heaven. Mm-hmm. It's if the whole point of what you're doing is just to get a reward, then you're missing the point.
Oh, no. Okay. Actually, this is my thing. No. I actually don't like that at all. Mm-hmm. Actually, I hate that.
Okay.
This is it's about here and now. Because remember when I talked about, I heard this just recently. I really like it. Right now, we live in a place where bad people may be the closest to heaven they ever come to, and good people are the closest to hell they'll ever go to. Oh my gosh, I just lost my thought because I
That was really
enjoyed
good, by the way.
Okay, yeah, that was I thought that kind
was
of
really
sums
good.
up love.
Mhm.
Yeah, I enjoyed that when I heard that when I was like, wow, that's that kind of. What do you got a thought?
Oh, just that there's definitely this notion for a lot of, like, it's the whole prosperity gospel of, if I worship God and I worship Him well, then I
Oh,
will be met with all of the
yeah.
earthly rewards I could ever want.
Okay. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. Despise it.
Mhm.
Actually, so not a fan. So, I'm sorry to interrupt you like that.
No, you're fine.
Um.
What are you gonna say?
Okay, because that is not the gospel. That's I'm not gonna throw too many words at it.
Mhm.
This to me is what the gospel is. Pick up your cross, follow me.
Mhm.
The rules of the gospel are this: love God with your heart, mind, soul, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself.
Mhm.
Okay. The gospel is transformation of heart now. It is, okay, getting back to in this life,
Mhm.
some people are the closest to heaven they'll ever be, and some people are the closest to hell they'll ever
Mhm.
be. In this life, the gospel is a restoration of right relationship and original goodness. Or just goodness, just a restoration of goodness within the heart, so that our oughts and wants are now correct. And it's if you get, well, here's the thing: you're not promised riches, but you are promised persecution.
Yep.
Like, okay, so, and I just talked to one of my friends at church. She got pregnant when she was younger, and she just had a heart murmur diagnosed, and we prayed, and I really do feel like she's going to get healed.
Mhm.
But she went through a real bad time the past couple of years. She's a young mom.
Mhm.
And she goes, she was like, well, I don't know how to do Christianity. And, oh, she goes, in Christianity, I thought it was going to be better and all this. I said, no, it's not.
Mm-mm.
It's,
In fact, you're going to
you
suffer
can.
more.
Yeah. Yes. But I also said God will help you be, if you want, a better mom.
Mhm.
Because she said how she was angry with her child and she
Mhm.
didn't like it. I'm
Mhm.
like, all right, well, the problem isn't your child.
No.
The problem's you.
Yep.
And so, and when I talked with her, and it was encouraging. It wasn't just coming down on her. But that to me is the gospel. Like, dude, in the last 26 years, like, I've had some really great times with God, but most of the time I'm getting my behind kicked because I am finding out what's in my heart, finding out how wrong I am, but I am learning, and it's worth it. And then when I get back into this peace and love and presence that I had in the beginning, I value it more than just receiving it initially, because I realized I could lose it. I did lose it. I experienced what it is to have without him.
Mhm.
And the words, it sucks. It really is bad. It's take your worst emotional moment and just live in that without reprieve.
Mhm.
That's what not God is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's when you decide, because this goes back to Chad's conversation last night, because you don't have to suffer greatly. Most alcoholics drink because they think they have to suffer greatly, because you could just suffer just a little bit. You just have to suffer today and deal with your emotions that you're feeling that make you want to drink, and you don't, and you determine within yourself not to drink no matter what. So it's not just determination, but there's a spirit in conjunction with that, because it goes, you also you surrender to God, like the Japanese surrendered to the United States. You throw down your defenses, and you realize, okay, I'm not going to quit. But it's also on God to reveal himself to you so that you don't go through it alone. Now, what that looks like, I don't know. But all I'll say is it will be sufficient. It might not be joyous, but it won't be hell, and eventually it lasts. Or we die, but within that process, we become better human beings, and I become a human being that is a proper habitation for his presence, so that I can recognize when I have shortcomings towards anybody or anything, so that if I'm doing something improper with my eye, I put it away. But also when I have an opportunity to do something good with my iPhone, I take that opportunity, and nothing rules me. I rule it. And that's what I think the gospel is. It is a restoration into that which we were in the beginning. We were wholly pleasing to God, walking with God in the cool of the day, until the deal got botched. And now it is that which was lost in the garden. That it's simply a relationship with God, not to get rich, but to have the riches in heart, so that if I only have $100 at the end of the week or the end of the month in my flow, I'm happy about it. And I could be happy about you having $1,000 because I know that's how it should be. And if it should be different, I will trust God to do something about it, or he'll give me an opportunity that doesn't offend my conscience.
I had like 5 threads that I wanted to pull there, and I've forgotten almost all
Oh,
of them.
that was a lot, dude. Oh, no. That was a long rant. Thank you. Thanks for letting me. That was fun. But yeah, I mean, tell me, I mean, what are the threads? Give me the fun one.
Well, the first one, just from the comment section, is Foxman and Skank want to do a reading of The Great Divorce at the campout, and just curious if you read it, and I'm up for that.
Yes.
I would be very interested.
Yeah, I have. That's the one where really hell is actually pretty dull. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I need to become a C.S. Lewis scholar.
I think we actually have one of those.
Yeah, oh God, there's so many.
Well, no, I mean, like, specifically talking about Jeff P.
Oh, because there's also, who's it, Jeff who?
Jeff P. He posts when he's going online for stuff on Grizz's Town Square.
Okay. Jeff P. I'll keep my eyes out.
I'll send you a link after stream.
Okay,
because
cool,
he's been doing for quite a long time. I don't know how many years at this point. He's been going through all of C.S. Lewis's letters, journal entries.
Jeff, I got you.
Yep.
Serve. Yeah. Sorry.
So if you want to talk to a C.S. Lewis scholar, like he's not maybe like credentialed, but I don't know if you'd
Yeah.
find many people who have as much
Yeah.
experience and like visibility on Lewis as he does. So
Well, but I mean, I have to get it for myself.
Mhm.
When you said the Great Divorce,
Mhm.
like the books I need to really know,
Mhm.
because I think they're good, but they're also part of the language here,
Mhm.
or culture is Great Divorce, That Hideous Strength,
That's
and
a good
maybe
one.
yeah. Oh, see, now that one, I think, that Hideous Strength is one that that's almost like a prophetic Reader's Digest of now and the future,
hmm
or how to circumnavigate it.
hmm
So, but what were your threads? Because I was
I
interested. Like
cannot
you.
keep track of them that well. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Well,
Because I
just like
was.
just hit some high points, and then I'll try and riff off of them as you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because we were talking about the gospel and what is the gospel? Because like the prosperity gospel is not the gospel.
Mm.
Um, the prosperity gospel goes it's almost like Old Testament works. Like
hmm
if you're blessed, God likes you.
hmm
Here are the secrets
Here's
to
the magic
getting
words.
blessed.
Say these things,
Uh,
and you will be
yeah,
blessed.
no, no, it's not magic words. You
hmm
just get 10% of your
hmm
income
hmm
religiously. Um, what else is there? That was one major.
Magic
Um,
actions, not magic words.
yeah, magic. Yeah, well,
Same,
they
same,
might
but
be some
different, but
magic.
still same.
Yeah. Um, it was funny when Paul was talking about healing.
hmm
Um, and he goes, there are no systems of words or procedures because then it becomes witchcraft.
hmm
And I'm like, yeah, but I'm very consistent and repetitive in my form. My words are like, usually I'll just, to make everyone, like, what did Jesus say? Be healed, be made whole.
hmm
I haven't said pick up your mat and walk because that hasn't happened yet,
hmm
but usually they're very short, sweet, to the point, and kind of repetitive, but it's not formulaic.
hmm
Um, but I wonder if it's fair to have a system within your mind that I follow. Like I say, by his stripes, Isaiah 53:5.
hmm
I think, yeah. Because I'm like, okay, there's my scripture. It's like a bullet. It's like a 22 caliber. Oh, this will work.
hmm
Boink. And so I use it all the time, and it works. Like he shows up.
hmm
I don't think that's witchcraft. I I know and I'm not trying to be. mm, I'm not trying to
Well, what's
diminish.
like
Yeah.
I have my own ideas in my own head, but like what? How do you define witchcraft? What is your understanding of like what constitutes
Mm,
witchcraft?
Here's the funny thing. I
hmm
think witchcraft, and I think it's all faith.
Okay.
First off, it is all faith, and then you're just going towards different gods
hmm
with different attitudes for different reasons and different outcomes. Maybe even the same outcome that might look the same way. Like, I'll give an example. This one, it doesn't freak me out, but I'm just trying to be fair.
hmm
There was a girl who was in a car wreck, shattered her pelvis. She was New Age. Uh, Called all of her New Age friends. She's in the hospital. She has an X-ray, and I don't know if it's the first or second one, but her pelvis, like it was shattered. They said, I don't know what that means, but it's bad. They take another X-ray before surgery, and she's completely healed.
Hmm.
Now, yeah.
It's a little
So,
weird.
yeah, no, I mean, it happens. So there's a couple ways I can approach this.
Mhm.
One, God is merciful. And when I say God, I'll say what I mean. For me, it's Jesus. So they might have been praying to Gaia, but their hearts were filled with compassion, and God answered, or a demon did. And, that does happen. Like, there are healings through other entities. Oh, yeah. But it's, it leads you down different paths.
So here's a thread that I wanted to pull before.
Okay.
Can bad people do good things?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It has to happen.
Why might a good or bad person do good things?
Oh, that one. Well, that's almost like I'm getting kind of silly, and I don't know if this is an honest answer. Salvation. Like,
Not in the sense of salvation. That's not what I'm getting at.
okay, so why would a good? Well, okay, the Satanist who saves a life. From that girl that.
Well, and assuming, because there's an implicit assumption that you're having there, which is that like he's turning over another leaf, and like because of that action.
No.
Okay.
He was a Satanist. He just had a moment of goodness.
Okay.
He stayed a Satanist for quite a while.
Okay.
It was in the midst of his Satanism that he.
But
it was almost like it was like instinct. But you asked the question: can someone bad do something good?
Yep.
Yeah.
And what would motivation be? That's the other key part of that.
Compassion.
Lacking compassion. Howdy, Skank.
Skank. The question today the class is: can bad people do good things?
Can bad people do good things, or can good things come from bad people?
Why might a bad person do a good thing?
Different questions. Why might a bad? I mean, the question of can good come from bad people? I mean, that's the conclusion to the book of Genesis. Is what you meant for evil, God intended for good. The fact that even people who are actively trying to do obviously evil things, that can still be used to further God's purposes for redemption, at least the way Genesis tells the story. And I mean, but that's not the question. I don't think that's the question you were asking. Is can bad people do? I mean, that's what do you mean by bad? I mean, Jesus said, "Who do you call good? Nobody's good but God alone."
Okay, we're talking about you're diddling. There's people diddling little kids on an island, and they do something good. Or some of them, one of the diddlers does something. Can a diddler do something good?
Well, I mean, you want the arch? Probably one of the worst examples of this. Did we gain any scientific knowledge from the Nazis?
Oh, that's interesting. That's I was assuming the good that Afril was talking about was like helping an old lady across the street, like an emotional good, or maybe even a moral good. That's weird. Okay, I think it's possible. But so that was is that a fair way of framing your question?
So Spatch kind of got the direction that I was going in, and then I was just typing in response to him to like confirm that. So a bad person, there's kind of two things. They can do good things to gain trust from somebody who that they can then betray that trust to directly, or they can use that to build up a relationship with a group of people that they can then weaponize against their enemies.
But then that's not really good. Then that's just
if I take you into my home and I feed you, is that a good thing? Did I do a good thing for you?
For me, yes.
Okay.
For you, it's a net zero. Actually, it might even be negative.
Yeah, it's costing me something to do that for sure. But is that cost worth it to me if I can then leverage my relationship with you and you can vouch for me and say, he wouldn't do that. He's a good guy.
It's
I know
okay,
him.
Wait. Okay, good is not
Good,
transactional.
like you can often do good things for manipulative reasons.
Yes.
And there could even be there's also just a case for some manipulation is good actually.
Yeah, and that's a really, man, that's a dicey one. I don't disagree offhand, but like, yeah, it's hard.
But I mean, the big thing is, I mean, for me, like the question is like, how do you judge a moral act?
Mhm.
And that's going to change depending on how narrow or expansive your the context is.
Mhm.
And so, if somebody is doing what we most consider a good thing, like feeding an enemy, say, or like just feeding somebody in order to make friends,
Mhm.
like at its base, that is. But if that person is coming to that action with the intent of creating social debts that they can cash in on for their own purposes,
Mhm.
that are ultimately going to be the detriment of the person that they are doing, that they are like, that is part of how that act should be understood ultimately. And so in that case, that's not a good act. It's a manipulative act.
Mhm.
That's what I like that, because then I think because real good is not transactional.
So how do you
It's-
tell the difference?
How much does it cost? If she loves me, she won't charge me anymore. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
Are you sure you need to make this guy any more worldly out?
Apparently not. Apparently not.
I'm having so much fun tonight.
More fun than you're authorized to have.
This is, oh my god.
Good
Yeah,
grief.
this is TLC After Hours.
After dark. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, love is not transactional.
Mhm.
Love is for, okay, Father.
But how do you tell the
forgive them.
difference? How do you tell the difference between when someone invites you over to their house and has a meal with you because they genuinely believe in creating good relation with you
Okay.
versus when
I
they are
have an
doing
ap-
it for the purposes of potentially exploiting you in the future?
I have an absolute answer.
Okay.
I think it's correct. You don't, and you never will.
That's a good
unless
answer.
God unless God gives you discernment, but you never will.
Never fully.
And correct. Yeah, but you'd go there anyhow,
Mhm.
and you say thank you, and like who's it? Because Paul, the Apostle Paul, like he said he was deceived. What did they say? They were. I'm missing something. What is it? Am I missing something in the text?
Oh, Ron's been on the mead, is what Foxman just said.
Oh, no, actually, I've been sober. I've
He's
been
been
drinking.
hitting
And
the
by
sauce a
way,
little too hard, if you know what I mean.
no. And if I do hit the sauce, I don't go past 0.004.
Specifically. He has a... Like, you do have a breathalyzer, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Well, but I was hanging out with a lot of Catholics, and I wanted to be careful because those.
They'll drink you to the table.
They can knock them down.
Ron and his poor Protestant sensibilities.
That's it. Well, and also because I have a CDL, and
Mm-hmm.
thought, and also to be honest, after using that thing, like, dude, I'm a lightweight.
Mhm.
Like at 0.004, which is totally legal. Like, I don't even want to drive. I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't feel safe.
Mhm.
You know, like, I'm like, forget that noise.
Mhm.
So. But now, by the way, I just made another gallon of blueberry honey mead
Ooh.
today. Yeah,
Oh, baby.
and and I've
Gotta
got
make it out
another.
to Indiana sometime. Shoot.
Oh, that.
I mean, we're camping in 2 weeks, Ron. Bring some out.
Mm-hmm. Or send some our way.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We'll pour one down our gullets for you.
Oh my goodness. That is tempting.
I mean, and honestly, like, booze is already a way in which which I've been intentionally sort of roping non-present people into participating. I mean, like 2 or 3 times I've made cocktail recipes Matt C sent me for our campouts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I tell you what, it's one of my best concoctions. Let me think. I've made apple cider. They have these. It's like real apple cider with the pulp and everything in these glass jugs at a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
It was like $10, and like the glass itself would have cost me $10 to buy it. So I made apple wine. Oh my gosh! If you ever see some of that in the store, buy it. Just add 1 cup of sugar, and get just even some bread yeast,
Mm-hmm.
and put in just a whole 5 grams of it, and then just put some sort of airlock on it and wait, I don't know, 3 weeks, or even better yet, just a month, and then just siphon off 90% of it. You'll have it'll put you.
It'll get you sauced.
It'll get you. You will not be driving.
This is how I brewed that bottle of root beer that I'm not being very prudent at the dorms at Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
Was just I think imitation root beer, flake extract, or something like that, along with yeast. Threw it all into I think it's like a 3-liter bottle. Filled it up, and it was just a standard 3-liter bottle. So there was no pressure release mechanism,
Mm-hmm.
and I was completely passing it like I do everything in my life, and just slowly started to realize oh, the bottle's getting tighter. Oh, the bottle's getting tighter. Oh, that bottle's. I'm this bottle's too tight for me to actually open. And so we took it out back. And we sort of once we saw the seam starting to kind of bulge and the little plastic screw that's on the top, we took it out back and threw it down a hill and watched it explode. Incredible.
Oh, dude, I wish you would have tried to open that and taste it. That could have been either awful or awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been.
There was one time in the middle where we did taste it, and this was awful, and so we closed it up. And just left it on top of the kitchen kitchen cabinets and forgot about it for a month.
Right.
And then we found it again. And I'm like, oh, this is we're getting close to losing structural integrity here. Submarine bulkheads are about to burst.
Well, you had prison seminary wine.
Prisons.
No toilets were involved though.
I would like to make root beer, like real. I don't know if you can ferment it, or if it's meant to be fermented, but like real ginger ale. I don't know, that doesn't sound half bad anymore. So you guys are going to be camping in 2 weeks, yeah?
The 11th.
The 11th, and I'll tell you what, it would cost me a pretty well, actually, money's not the issue. I mean, it's not that.
Ron, if you are willing to send us some of your mead, I will gladly pay for the shipping.
Shoot. If I can.
But it's if you're willing. I don't want to hey Ron, you're gonna give us some of your mead,
All right, I'll tell you what. Text me the address when it's shipped to.
Okay.
Because it's an 8-ounce bottle, 8-ounce bottles, and I'll find out the cost.
Okay.
Because just for grins and giggles, just to say I in some way was there, that might be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
That might be.
Hey.
And if it puts you on your butts, that's even better. I mean,
Heck it better.
It's not to be trifled with, and it tastes pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's.
I'm mayor of spirits of all kinds.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Yeah.
Different kind of woo.
Yeah. Well, who are those the monks that make, but they don't drink it? There's some sort of beer that's just insanely, like made only every couple years, like certain monks, and the bottles are crazy expensive. That's the kind of stuff I want, the quality. I just want to, I don't know why. I just want to make some good hooch. Like I want, I don't know. Maybe it'll stop, but I do. We'll see. It's
The Ben Franklin quote: "Beers prove God loves us and wants us to be happy."
that I thought that was coffee, but maybe
That too. It applies to all sorts of stuff.
Right. Okay.
Also,
Well,
Noah, if you'd stop trying to say naughty words, then YouTube would stop trying to censor you. I don't know. It sounds like it's a you being a bad boy problem.
Sounds like a skill issue, man. Should start slur maxing. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
So, at the camp out coming up, is there a theme, or is it just a good fellowship out in the woods? Which is pretty awesome.
I don't think we've really had.
Thomas, like maybe just decided we should read The Great Divorce around the fire.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it is his camp out, so.
I used the word sarsaparilla in your chat, and YouTube got mad at me. I have no clue why.
That's the most random censorship.
It's not even random. It's totally on topic.
Oh, that's weird. Sarsaparilla.
Anyway, if you want to make real root beer, you would use sarsaparilla, but it's technically a carcinogen.
Right.
So you can't use it in like commercial root beer anymore. But you can still get it.
Right. Sassafras, because we have sassafras trees here, and we dig up the roots, and they taste great. To be honest with you, dig them up as a kid, and chew on them. So, if I get the sassafras root, I wonder. I don't know. I think I'm tempted to look up the process because I don't know how much of a carcinogen it is. If it's just like enough.
Sounds like a California problem.
Yeah, I was about to say that, but I didn't want to be part. I didn't want to come down like
Everything's a carcinogen.
Yeah. All right.
Chances are it's probably one of those things that if you were drinking it every day, it would be a problem.
Yep.
But if you're, like alcohol, if you're being responsible with it, it's probably not that big a deal.
Right. Right. So how many people are going to be camping? How many you got so far?
I'm trying to think.
I don't know, camp out leader. How many do we have?
Oh gosh. Let me pull up.
No, I'm definitely on board. I don't think I've sent you any kind of RSVP, and I'm trying to rope some other folks in. Got a definite or got a baby, but probably not.
I'd be curious to see.
Well,
I think we have at least 11.
wow, that's cool.
That's a lot, actually. Okay.
Do we
No,
need
I'm saying that. I'm saying that because Jason and his family.
Okay.
3, and they usually have their own.
Okay, so that's
We have plenty of room at the campsites. Otherwise, I think we still have like.
Each of those campsites, like they support like 3 tents, right?
Yeah, and technically, I have them reserved for like 8 people each or something like that.
Okay.
So we have plenty. We have 9 more spots if people want to show up. Like.
Oh, that's cool.
I think I'm also counting Nate in that. I don't know if Nate's showing up.
I forgot to ask last Tuesday.
So do you guys all live somewhat close together?
Within like
we live far
hour
enough away
drive.
that the campouts. That's why the campouts have kind of become so regular.
Wow.
It's because we don't run into each other necessarily on the weekend and week out basis.
Wow, that's cool. Well, the more often that happens, the more of a chance I have to fly out. Because when it's something like this, when it's Yeah, I would like it. That's all. It's going to happen. Period. And also, I got to see the West Coast.
Grim, has Grim put a date on the ingression yet?
He has not. At the beginning of the stream, I tentatively put. Oh, when was it? Make sure I say the right dates. June 27, 28, tentatively.
2017. Okay.
Just so we're not competing and other folks aren't competing with anybody who's trying to do camping over the Juneteenth 3-day.
Juneteenth 3-day is also the solstice, which is also backpack naked day.
Oh,
so if you head out into the deep woods on the solstice, the summer solstice, your chances are decent of running into somebody who's doing a little more than just freeballing.
Are you serious? Like, is that? I mean,
oh yeah,
wow.
It's sort of like known in the backpacking community. It's real hippie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, I don't know what to. Man, I tell you what, I picked a bad time to get sober. I'm telling you what. Boy, if I was a hippie, I'd be like, I'm going to Oregon for the weekend. Yeah, just, oh my goodness. I'm just going home. I'm just going to go. I'm going to be. I'm just going to try to have a nice, boring life.
Mm-hmm.
I've already had adventures. We're good. All right, but I didn't know it was Naked Backpacking Day. That's something worthy to put at least on Facebook.
That is really funny.
I like to make.
I was not aware of that. That's really funny.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna tell my friends at church tomorrow. Wait. Seriously,
guys, I swear this is not an invitation. I thought it was funny, and I wanted to let you know.
Trying to tell you what to stay away from the woods.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's mostly sort of like like witchy hippie stuff, and solstice.
Oh yeah. Right. Charge your crystals. Wait, don't forget. Don't remember. Don't get. It's like here's your PSA. It's solstice, kids. Don't forget to charge your crystals. Sorry, I had to go there. I'll look it up. Naked Bear. Oh gosh, I've had too much fun. It's 11:30 in my part of the world.
Yeah, you probably should go to bed.
I know. I'm having way too much fun. All right, good night, guys. It's been fun.
Thanks for joining in, Ron. It's been good talking with you.
See you, Ron.
Good night, guys. Bye.
Did you guys take economics classes in college at all?
I didn't.
Okay. Economics classes?
Just 101.
Okay. Because, that... Like, reading more, like, von Mises and stuff like that later on is, like, why don't we talk about why people want the things that they want? Like, if that's what... Economics is a giant calculator to try and decide how to efficiently assign stuff. Like, why do we only talk about the stuff downstream of like, okay, given that people want these things, how are they going to behave? Like, I've never understood why there's not more of an emphasis there.
So you also get into like the recent guys, the Thinking Fast and Slow guys, Daniel Kahneman and Tversky, who they just like try to disrupt the rational choice factor that was sort of the foundation for economic modeling for a while. Just like, oh wait a second, they basically discovered or economically discovered logical fallacies, and just the fact that people are irrational.
Well, it's not that they're irrational, and that's like I think it was a private conversation with Ron, so it wasn't anything that's like private. The marshmallow test, you guys know about that, right?
Yeah.
So one of the really interesting ideas that I've heard about that recently was this idea that the kid who is taking the one marshmallow is not actually irrational because his environment has taught him that when authority figures say to him, if you wait, if you keep this one marshmallow and you wait, I'll give you 2, what actually ends up happening is the authority figure comes back and says, well, I don't actually have another marshmallow for you, and actually I need the one that you still have too, so I'm going to take that back. And that experience has taught them that that is what happens, but through repeated experiences. And so they're not acting irrationally when they eat the marshmallow when it's presented to them. They're actually acting rationally, just within a different paradigm than what the experimenters are understanding.
Well, I think that eat the food in front of you when it's in front of you. Mm-hmm. I think that's also probably closer to our, I guess, like biological programming.
Yep.
And the learning to sacrifice a present good for a future double good is something that you do have to be taught.
Yes.
You have to be traditioned into.
Right, and no disagreement with that. The point that I was trying to make was that I think that what they're discounting is the fact that there are very good reasons to eat the food in front of you in certain circumstances, but you have to be able to discern which circumstance you're in.
Yeah.
And so, like, the scientists, the experimenters are like, I don't know why the kid ate the marshmallow. I was going to give him another one. It's like, yeah, but their parents wouldn't have, or their uncles and aunts wouldn't have. And if you're not thinking about that, if you're not accounting for that, then you're not understanding the decision matrix that person's operating under.
Yes. So. Yeah, there's... And again, like, back to like what we were talking about earlier, like, is this action good or is it bad? Mm-hmm. Is this rational or is this irrational? It's a similar question, and it depends upon the broader context of the mere act itself.
Yep. But if you're just working from a single axis, and your single axis is what you call rational choice theory, and you can't think of how anyone would think of anything differently than how you're thinking of it, it makes it basically impossible to have a meaningful conversation with anybody who would, like, rationally make any other decision, just because your value set and structure and system is different than what theirs is.
Yeah.
Yes, Kelly. Slack says, Af's example is why I don't work hard at work.
Yeah.
You told me I was going to get a promotion. You told me I was going to get a pay raise, and then you didn't give it to me, so...
Yeah, like there is something we said for treating people the way their actions are telling you they want to be treated.
Yep. But then how do you communicate with somebody else who doesn't have that understanding? How do you bring somebody else into that kind of an understanding?
I think this is where we get into. I don't know if it's my crusade against the Protestant work ethic, but it's learning to recognize that programming, get a little bit foxy with it, get a little like wise as serpents with it, start to ask, like, when is it worthwhile to just put your nose to the grindstone and work, regardless of reward, versus when is it wise to be much more about seizing the marshmallows when they drop and not trusting for future marshmallows.
So welcome, Neil. Howdy.
Hello. Hey, good evening.
Yeah. No, that's
did
one
you,
thing. Oh, go ahead.
Did you listen to Kale and Steve Skojek's most recent monitoring the situation
No,
pod?
I can't keep up with everything.
No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. They're the biggest reason I bring that up is because Kale came in with a different sort of like analogy for society that I think dovetailed really well with the your and Gray's description of the media environment as like Om Jabbar. Kale used the image of the Skinner box, this thing that you are encased inside of, that is programming you to respond in particular ways.
Yep.
And I think part of the question of like whether you're just gonna, work hard without any sort of concern for the future because the future is going to be good, that depends upon a particular Skinner box that you're inside of.
It depends upon a particular understanding, a particular ethic, a particular set of values and virtues. And if you don't share that, then it's not going to make sense.
Right.
There's the belief that, let's say, the working hard will not bear the fruit that one hopes for in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's the belief that the work or the learning is good in and of itself. And I think we sometimes make excuses for the second for the first. We say like, okay, it's not going to be good in the future, so I won't
I'm not even
learn
gonna bother
or get
trying.
better. Yeah. And there's the inherent good that comes about of pursuing something intensely that's a worthwhile skill to pursue, regardless of the fruits of that output. It's like the happiness being a side effect versus the
goal.
Versus the goal. Yeah.
Well, and I think a big part of that is just that you don't necessarily know what it is that you're going to find when you start digging. Like that's, you genuinely don't. You think that you have some idea maybe of like where you should be going, what you should be doing, but when it really comes down to it, until you've already explored that part of the skill tree, you don't actually know what the perks are going to be along it. So then, Neil, how do you make the discernment? How do you decide that a thing is worth exploring versus that because there's all sorts of avenues of exploration. How do you decide which one you're going to prioritize over another?
Well, I think God gives us the glimpses of meaning. The thing that blends the darkness. I think that is God given. I don't know how else to explain it now. Maybe it's just quantum effects of neurons firing.
You don't believe that?
I don't think so. Yeah, exactly. So it's whatever it means that we have a soul. When we speak in terms of the soul, the fact that we're open to something that's beyond rationality or reason. Yeah. So what's been in my mind, this is just today, so this could be a fleeting thing. Typically I have to really think about something for like days and days and weeks, and if it still doesn't go away, I'm like, all right, that's a worthwhile idea. Like the longer it persists, the longer then I can sort of trust the meaning instinct. The one that just popped into my head today is like, if I wanted to build a structure that would last 1,000 years, like what would that construction or structure look like? More specifically, I've had this image in my mind. This is going to sound weird, kind of revealing. Like it's like a more open kimono than I would typically be comfortable sharing. But
you are live on YouTube.
I know that. It's an open kimono.
Bring that kimono out wide.
Yeah. Yeah. So you are live on YouTube. I know, Mom. It's okay, Mom. I know what I'm doing, Mom.
Do you, son? Do you?
Just for that, Ron Copperman's gonna come and bop me on the head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've had this image in my mind of like, if I ever built a church, like as a structure, as a physical building,
mm-hmm.
and because the thing is, there are absolutely beautiful cathedrals out there, absolutely beautiful. But like, so Carl Jung, I don't know if you know this about Carl Jung, but he was kind of a spoiled brat in a lot of ways, and he inherited money from his wife,
mm-hmm.
and he used that money to like build a building. Like he built his own home,
mm-hmm.
but it was more than a home. It was like he.
Is that the Wizard Tower?
I don't think that's what it's called. No, you might be confusing it. It's on a lake in Switzerland, and it's very idealistic and picturesque. You could look it up. I am driving at the moment. I am so used to driving on the autobahn. So, yes. But you know, so he assembled, and Carl Jung credited this to like the individuation process of like he assembled a building that he wanted to make out of like blocks, like a child, you know, and then he spent the rest of his life kind of assembling the actual home in the way he wanted to build, and it's very nice. Like it's kind of medieval in its structure, but I thought about that idea of like building a structure the way that you wanted to. I thought about that idea both in terms of a home but also a church, and the image that keeps coming into my mind for a church is something that's mostly subterranean. Like it's almost like a hobbit burrow, mm-hmm. In that you have to go like slightly under the ground, and there are light sources from outside. But you remember in the Mines of Moria, mm-hmm. when you get to the tomb of, I think it's the tomb of Balin, is that right?
I think so.
And you get the light shaft that shines in from outside, but it's a really lengthy light shaft. Like you sense that they're really far underground, but the light shaft can still shine through. Mm-hmm. Like that kind of thing where there's a light shaft that extends quite a ways in order for the light to shine into this subterranean space. And the light only shines at certain times of day, and that's when the church would assemble, so to speak. But it's like the subterranean dwelling, and not to say you couldn't have stained glass windows and that sort of thing, but I've had that image of a church as subterranean, and I've tried to think through like why that is, like why it's subterranean, and I know the symbolism that Pajot has talked about, where Christ is born in a cave, or like maybe it's like even the manger in a cave sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But that you have to go into the ground to be born anew, unless the seed dies. So something like being born anew, where every time, especially within Catholicism, like I've never heard anyone say this, but I've had this intuition that the right way to think about approaching the Eucharist is death. It's like a willingness to die with Christ. In effect, that's what we're doing every time we approach the table. And it's one thing to think of it that way. It's another thing to do it, obviously. But the thinking about it is a start. So I think the subterranean, but also it's not like fully subterranean. Like it's connected to the surface. It's there. The light still shines through. Anyway, that's why I've had this image of a church. I have no idea why I brought this up to begin with. What was the original topic?
We were talking about like what one ought to want.
Oh, yes. Like
So-
whether this is like a valid thing, meaning wise, to think about and explore. Yeah, because almost certainly not. It's like a ridiculous concept, right? It's all symbolic and abstracted, and it doesn't mean anything. And maybe I could be like Redeemed Zoomer and call myself Redeemed Catholic and be building Minecraft versions of subterranean churches online for my massive following.
Mhm.
But somehow I doubt that that's what God's plan is for me.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know, why these things pop up, and that's why I'm sort of a student of Mary in this regard. That in the Gospels, Gospel according to Luke, it talks about Mary, and she kept all these things in her heart. So instead of me keeping them in my heart, I'm actually a student of Matt Stankenstein, and I share them on YouTube. Back to you in the studio, Tim.
Rather than collecting them but gathering them inside yourself, you're just spraying your ideas everywhere.
That's not the mental image I wanted.
You know what's ironic is I just drove through. I just drove through a skunk patch as you were saying that.
Symbolism happens.
Oh man. Well, so to bring it
I
to
was not the one that brought up BDSM on the stream.
I mean, that is fair. That is fair. That was deserved. So, to kind of like move it to the stream topic, wanting, like, how silly is wanting to build a place of worship? In terms of, like, what economic value are you going to be able to derive from that?
Well, it's everything else. Like, it's like what economic value is there to building relationships with people for which you're not actually, like, making money with?
Mm-hmm.
It's for everything else.
Well, the point that I would push to is that, like, what are you doing? Like, all the economic productivity stuff. What are you doing that for? Like, if it's just hedonism maxing.
No, George Bush told me I need to put food on my family, so I do it.
Like, throw a couple tomatoes at the kids.
Like spirit cooking style. That's what we that's what we need. I need to behave myself.
You're off the rails, brother.
Woo!
In Chicago, I remember we were talking about how some of the skyscrapers at the very top had these portions that were kind of carved or, created, and they were dedications to different gods. And one of them was Dionysus, was like one of the more striking examples. It's like, what was the economic incentive for the person who created that skyscraper to include a dedication to Dionysus of all the choices he had of who he could dedicate it to?
Mm-hmm.
Also, why are you putting him on top of skyscrapers? Dionysus is demonic. He goes down to the bottom.
It's obviously so that we could summon Zool and have the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man dominate New York City. Obviously.
Now we're going back to the marshmallow test.
Yeah. The final marshmallow boss.
I think that people generally have enough of an understanding of, like, growing in depth of what they want, but it definitely feels like the sort of media guided conversation very much either ignores or Actually, mostly just ignores. Like, I don't think that they really talk about it much one way or the other.
I think. I mean, there's also like levels of desire. We talk about like what do you want and how do you want the right things. And oftentimes, especially like media, targeted ads, stuff like that, they are often trying to entice our shallowest wants, and usually has the effect of causing us to ignore the deeper wants,
Yep.
like the deeper desires. A cheap epiphany that is an end to any deeper spiritual searching. Like,
Yep.
yeah. Which I guess is probably why we should have been fasting.
When you have to actually see spiritual searching as something that is worth your time and attention to pursue. So, if you just see consuming product and then getting excited for next product as the complete extent of human existence, then it's going to go predictably.
It's kind of interesting how kind of like popular intermittent fasting has become, but for like I think the shallowest of reasons.
Yeah. Like you need to. How can you optimize your ability to do productive work for a corporation?
It's like the inverse of the microdosing LSD, so that you can like be a better like
programmer or whatever. Yeah.
Producing big. Whatever.
Yeah. No, it's definitely got a certain funny irony to it.
That's the paramedical field that's about taking a little bit of the poison in order to inoculate it.
Oh, it's not just about
homeopathy.
poisons. Yeah, homeopathy. It's about like the strength of the effect of something is increased by reducing the dosage of it, which I don't think is very sound or valid for a number of reasons. But
that's just, I mean, it seems like the microdosing LSD and the intermittent fasting is sort of actual like fasting homeopathy that curbs your need to actually engage in serious things.
So I would put it more as it's demonically motivated fasting. It's not quite the same as, but it's because like let me lead with this. Do you know what I mean when I say demonic fasting versus like holy fasting?
I mean, my understanding of demonic fasting is we don't actually fill in your newly freed up time with prayer. You're really just making more space for demons. I'm not sure if that's what you mean. So, enlighten me, please.
So, what I'm going for with that is that you can fast with the sense of I want to deepen my appreciation for the gifts that are given to me, or you can fast with this idea of I want to raise the ecstasies that I can experience to even higher heights from the consumption that I engage in.
Sorry, but fasting is a form of edging?
Well, that's the thing, is like, if you're doing it with the proper mentality, then it's not really edging. It is just something that you are denying yourself so that you can have a better relationship and a deeper appreciation for whatever it is that you are refraining from consuming.
Right.
Like you fast from food so that way you have a deeper appreciation of the gift of food that is given to you. You fast from alcohol so you... Oh, go ahead, Neil.
I'm going to go with Khan for 300 and the moral imperative of you got to do the thing for the thing in and of itself for the thing.
Yep. Well, because you can do it for other reasons. You can do all sorts of things for whatever reasons, but if you're trying to get into heaven and that's your motivator, right? Then you're not. It's not.
That's the utilitarian heaven trap. Don't fall for the utilitarian heaven trap.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're heaven maxing, you're heading in the wrong direction.
Yep.
Well, I mean, up to a point. It's
why
Yeah,
you want to.
Heaven maxing made me crack up, but it's a start. It's a start.
Well, and what is your conception of heaven, right? Is it to extend your life? Is that what your understanding of heaven is, or is it for being in the presence of God?
Right.
I want to serve as many meals as I can before I die. I'm gonna put on my apron, serve.
Ugh.
Yeah. To touch on the Slack kind of has the right idea in the comments about like the demonic fasting is a tolerance break to reset the anhedonic response. Like you stop doing drugs for a little bit so that the drugs feel good again.
Feels very Dionysian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the focus is on the pleasure that you can experience.
Yeah,
that's the whole point. Man, I really wanted to finish it up because there's not that much left, but I think we're probably about at the end. At least for this evening, unless you guys got more to go with.
Oh,
we have a Bambi.
We got a Parlato.
To what do we owe the honors, good sir?
Hello, mate.
Top of the evening to you, puppet.
Yo.
Did you make it to your destination, Neil?
Not yet. Still in transit. But I am awake, alert, and oriented times 3. So
good.
It's a good thing you got some West Coast bros to keep you going.
for the sake of his sorrowful passion.
Amen.
Chris is just saying that he was expecting this to be a replay. Nope, we're still going. Yeah, it's been a minute since we last talked, Matthew. How you doing? What's been on your mind? Mr. CEO of Bambi.
I'm getting married. That's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Well, other than that, not too much. Taking the trip, I knocked out my first class of the Trivium, Grammar 1.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. What else? I'm on a Mary Harrington rabbit hole. Listening to a lot of Mary Harrington.
Any
Did we
good
ever
fruits from
figure
that
out
yet, or?
like why she's suddenly everywhere this week?
It's because she's the star of the Symbolic World Summit. She's the most like materialized into instantiated physical form of any symbolic person.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, she's pretty dope.
Yeah, Unheard is a little Tory octopus for me, but it is still interesting to see where the mainstream conversations are meandering to and from.
I don't think she's well. I don't pay a ton of attention to her necessarily. I'm not sure if she's like kind of captured by Unheard. She seems pretty. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't know.
Well, I remarked to Henry earlier. I was talking to Henry earlier, and excuse my gas, by the way. And it feels like I've been going vertical since Peterson, and like a big inhale of the vertical since Peterson. And now there seems to be an exhale towards the horizontal, at least in my own life. Like, I've established a connection with the heavenly realms, let's say. The vertical has been established. Now it's like, I don't know. It seems like the exhale is horizontal. But thoughts?
What do you mean when you say the exhale is horizontal? I'm not quite following you.
Assume reality moves in undulations, and that's at the personal level, level of a culture, society. I don't know, like most of the portion and percentage of my life that is defined by relationships with other people that I care about is higher than it's ever been before. Like in my entire life, you know, like my entire life has been obsessions with ideas and things, and that has diminished significantly as I've become more. I don't want to say obsessed with people. I like people.
Well, I think some of that is, yes, hopefully a good sign of like maturity. Like mature masculinity is integration of the feminine.
Or at least that's a significant part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think ultimately, like that's what becoming a patriarch is. It's the transcending your agent role to become a arena force instead.
Yeah. Well, to have the masculine energy that enables you to properly construct an arena around which, or within which, the feminine can freely operate.
Right. And also, like, ideal if that happens as you age, you are then the arena, like a force within the arena, the nest that sends out the next generation of agents.
All I heard from that was something about a force in an arena and a force in my pelvis, and that was it.
TLC After Dark, folks. Which streets would have made you content, Grizz? I'm curious.
I like how we said agents and all of a sudden Grizz pops up. What? Kids are wilding out.
Kids are misbehaving over in this corner of the corner. Gotta rein them in. Reel them back.
So tell me about what you're doing in the Pacific Northwest. Like, what's your cadence? How many people typically show up? Is it a different place every time? Are you establishing a liturgy of the wild up there yet?
I think I'll let our next campout leader take the reins on this one.
I think we consistently have around 10 or 11 people. We have a good group of people who bring their children along. So we have tend to have like a kids fire and a adults fire. Up until I think this round is going to be a 1-night camp out, but usually we have a 2-night camp out, at least for the last few. And we've been hitting different parks every time. Since it's been colder, we've been tending to do cabins, and that's why we've been doing longer campouts. But I think we're getting back into tents again, so those are a lot of the details.
Tents before cabins, got it.
True.
No, that's really cool. I think we need to do a deliberate extension of that to other parts of the country. I don't know why Matt C hasn't started his Everglades camping yet.
I mean, I poked him about it, about at least trying to join in with the grip. So.
Yeah, the ingression protocol, right?
The Greater Regional Ingression Protocol. Can we get everybody?
But I mean, the big thing is just like every person needs like a core group of people that are willing to go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so that's the hard part. That's the politics part of gathering and organizing people and finding people that are willing to go out into the woods on a regular basis, that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
We got enough. We got enough in Florida. I feel like we got enough people in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Probably have enough in Texas, but the problem is Texas is almost as large as Iran.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's bigger than Canada, isn't it?
Try and save quit reload because I'm pretty sure that my guys are glitching out. Yeah, Texas is huge.
Would like to go back to Texas. I want to. I had an amazing, like 3-day camp out at the Rio Grande a couple years back. It's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Big Bend National Park is amazing. I need to go back and check in on our Austin boys. Finally starting to chill with Rigel a little bit more online.
Mm-hmm.
We need to solidify some tenuous internet bonds.
Wait till the right moment. Strike when the iron's hot.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm participating with him. Like Rigel's been pushing his. He's got this 100 days of creative practice, and he ripped me in. Once the Z thing is finally done and printed, I can shift over to like posting balloon creative developments, which is what I'm hoping to do for the next 2 months.
Very cool. I'm gonna call my dad, so I'm almost there. But I will talk to you guys probably tomorrow.
Sounds good.
All right. Peace, brother. Safe travels.
Thank
Love
you.
Neil.
Love you too.
I think I'm about to call it quits if this doesn't work. Because I don't know why with the game's glitching out and people are not going to medical tents when they should be.
Well, that's not good.
No.
You should put them all in lockdown.
Well, they don't need to be in lockdown. They just need to go and... There's dedicated coughing
Just tell
locations.
them
Go cough
7
over there.
days to flatten the curve. That's all you're asking.
All I heard was herd immunity.
I mean, I'm fine with them coming back out once they're better. They just gotta go and, like, seek medical care. Like, it's not like I'm trying to lock everybody in their homes. It's just, like, go... Like, if you're coughing, go get somebody to help you get better. Like, stop.
It's time to mobilize FEMA. Get on it, man.
Oh, man.
I don't know how much of it was taken out of context, but have you seen the FEMA guy talk about his teleportation ability?
What? No. What are you...
Let me see if I can find this. The top official of FEMA. Again, I don't know how out of context the like clip is taken, but he claimed he once teleported to a Waffle House 50 miles away from his original location in Georgia.
I mean, are you sure he didn't just go on a bender and wake up in the wrong Waffle House?
He claims that like he like left the house, said I'm gonna go get some Waffle House, just showed up there, called his family and said I'm at this Waffle House, and they're like, that Waffle House is 50 miles away. How did you get there so fast?
I mean, there is a storied relationship between like FEMA and Waffle House.
That is true.
That is very true.
It reminds me of Stephen King's JFK assassination novel. The portal that takes you back to time. It's not a Waffle House, but it is in the basement of a diner.
Mm.
It's like it happens to us all.
Hopefully setting up care houses will fix
It's
this.
just the nature of Waffle House. If you're in one Waffle House, you're in all Waffle House.
It's the law
Waffle House,
of
the restaurant at the edge of the universe.
I remember what game was it? Was it Tekken, where the guy, the director of Tekken was looking to get Waffle House to be one of the stages, or at least make a parody of Waffle House.
That's fantastic.
Because enough people were tweeting at him about it.
I mean, Waffle House is famous or infamous for its knockdown, drag-out fights, so that would work out pretty well, actually.
Oh my gosh, the Waffle House waitress meme. Oh, what a treasure.
Have you seen that video where like somebody throws a chair at a Waffle House waitress and she like catches it in
Exactly what
midair
I'm
and puts it
talking
down?
about. Yep.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one. Okay.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Amazing.
Yeah. Just the insanely graceful, like spinning the chair
Yes.
away from her face and immediately doing the like "come at me, bro" in. Oh.
I think I saw a review for a Waffle House once, and it was something on the lines of like, this person from another country came to America to go to a Waffle House to see how true the rumors were. And he's like, I was disappointed at first, and then two women came in and just started like slapping each other. And he's like, my expectations are fulfilled.
I've never had that Waffle House experience. It's always been nice and peaceful and quiet whenever I've gone in.
You're not going late enough, man.
No?
Yeah.
After midnight at a minimum.
I think it was also the right part of town issue. Like, just not being in the wrong part of town.
The Waffle House got gentrified.
Gentrified Waffle House.
I can see how hipsters would love Waffle House.
That's true. If your Waffle House says matcha, maybe that's not a good sign.
Imagine somebody like made like a different kind of Waffle House that served like higher end things, but still had the aesthetic of cheap and greasy.
There are a couple solid chicken and waffle food trucks down here.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah.
And there's also I mean, it's not so much a hole in the wall, but there's a waffle stop. I mean, it's very corporate, kind of Chipotle-ish, but they never let me down right by Pike Place Market when I pop in there for some chicken and waffles.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. There's a place in downtown Bellingham that does fried chicken.
Chicken? What is that? Is it just fried chicken?
Oh, it's like chicken fried steak, but it's chicken.
Oh. So it's just fried chicken. you like bang it out or whatever.
Doesn't Torah condemn this? Isn't this like boiling a kid in its mother's milk?
And then, yeah, it does condemn it.
Like a chicken in its mother's gravy.
But it has eggs on it, of course, and like hash browns and toast and everything.
Mm.
It has gravy too. That's the other piece.
Sounds tasty.
I just saw it
It's
today.
great.
I'm tempted to, right before our camping trip. I might be rolling through your town to go to Canada.
Oh.
Yeah, Matthew B. Crawford is speaking in Vancouver on the 9th, on a Thursday evening.
Okay.
And I'm sorely tempted.
April 9th.
Take stock of the situation and maybe see about popping over.
Yeah. Well, let me know if you want to get lunch or something.
Yeah, totally.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Also, no, Grizz, I did not give everyone opium. I just didn't realize it's because there's tech that you can research that allows you to have dedicated places for people who are gravely ill versus just having them be in
sites?
medical tents. And so apparently, because they were all gravely ill and I'd had that researched, none of them were using the medical tents. They were all waiting for spots to open up in the care houses, and none of them were going in the care houses because they were waiting for a spot there. It was like, okay, well, just build a bunch of care houses. Here we go.
But come on, man. Opium is totally on brand for cyberpunk Islam.
I mean, how else is the CIA gonna fund its gun running?
That's also very cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm. Golly. Are we the baddies?
It's a very modernity-coded question, man. What this whole stream's a bit about depends on what you're trying to do. Depends on the long context of your action.
What do you want to want?
Mm-hmm.
Also, yeah, the whole idea, like Grizz saying that the idea of gentrification is that we want to kick the crappy people out so that the landed gentry can move in. I don't know. It's not so much wanting landed gentry to move in. It's more like, how can you encourage people who don't necessarily have a ton of money and don't really need to spend a ton of money either to have like slightly improved tastes over what their tastes are currently?
Well, I mean, here's the question: how do you gentrify without
kicking the
make it impossible?
Well,
impossible for the peasants to enjoy the benefits of gentrification. Like, let's talk about like actual economic uplift.
Well, can you economically uplift an area without kicking everybody out? Can you like help those people to economically uplift themselves so that their standard of living increases without, like, you're not gentrifying by moving people in, you're gentrifying by improving the quality of life of the people that are already there.
I guess then you got to ask the nasty question, like, is it the character of the people that is, in some sense, responsible for the economic downward?
Well,
or drag.
My answer to that is absolutely, and people don't really like to think about the fact that that's the case, but that's been what I've seen. That's been my experience, my limited experience. Admittedly, I have not. Like, mostly that experience is based off of the folks that I was around when I was in the Army as a platoon leader in particular. And like the short-term decision making when it's not necessary kind of behaviors.
A lot of first-round marshmallow takers.
Yeah. Well, and also a lot of folks that very like honor culture of like, I'm not going to admit that I was wrong here, even though it's going to cost me more in more significant ways. Like there was one kid who I say kid, he was 18, 19, and I was 23 or 4 at the time, so like, take that as you will. But he was drinking in the barracks like he shouldn't have been, but nobody really cares as long as you behave yourself. And he broke his friend's camera, and his friend was like, dude, what the fuck, you're gonna pay for this, right? And he said, no, I'm not gonna pay for that. So he's like, if you don't pay for it, I'm gonna tell the folks that you were drinking in the barracks and that you have alcohol in your room, and then they're gonna go look, and you're gonna be in trouble. And it's like, well, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna pay for your camera out of principle. And it's like, you are about to incur so much more cost to your life as a consequence of beating your chest than if you had just eaten your pride for a moment. But no, we can't do it. It's not possible.
Yeah. That was an interesting part of J.D. Vance's book, Hillbilly Elegy, was the role that his first sergeant played in
setting him straight.
Effectively, like teaching him the marshmallow test. It's like, look, we are gonna economically uplift you. We're gonna teach you how to save, how to live responsibly.
Yep.
But not everyone takes them up on that offer.
No, I would say most don't, and that's the kind of frustrating and disappointing thing is that don't cast pearls before swine, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, shoot, living not too far away from the military base and noticing, at least as far as auto dealerships go, there's a lot of folks that are predatory towards military.
What? You're saying that no military base would be complete without a payday loan, a tattoo parlor, and a massage parlor outside of the gates?
Right next to the BDU garment repair shop. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there's another what alt one want is if there is a significant demand for prostitution, then the question is not whether there will be a supply. The question is how much will that what's the cost going to be to access that supply?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got to legalize it. Is that the moral of the story?
Maybe not. Maybe that's not the answer.
You will always have black markets with you.
Yep.
I'm gonna do this now because this is stream that'll appreciate it. But so I just got this week Jacob Siegel's book, The Information State: Politics in the Age of Total Control, which is about I mean, internet censorship and sort of like he's trying to trace sort of like the new kind of like internet machinery that is fundamentally altering our politics.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna pop in the index and see if we get Kojima mentioned in here at all. Come on, man, don't let me down.
Kojima, hit me with a Kojima.
No, missed opportunity. Disappointed, Jake.
What a shame.
Well, if he responds to my email, I have something to talk about.
Mhm. So there's this game called Metal Gear Solid that you should check out.
I mean, now that Cyberpunk is still the topic du jour, maybe we should do a Kojima Street.
Mm-hmm.
The infamous Coda call at the end of MGS2, I think at least would be worth some attention.
Definitely.
It's branding worthy, even.
If anything, we just need to let everyone else know what we're gesturing at when we say "ride it, turn the game console on."
Also, yeah, Slack, it says, how does that massage parlor stay in business? Nobody from base is allowed to go there. Because soldiers would definitely always obey the things that they were told to do, or not do. People would always do the things that they were told to do or not do, even.
There are official military traditions, and there are unofficial military traditions.
I don't think anybody on the call is going to know what I'm talking about, but Slack definitely does. Juicy Girls. Juicy Girls, they're hottest thing in Korea. The game over there is that you go over and there's a good-looking girl at a bar and you buy her a very expensive glass of juice and you chat with her for a while and maybe she wants to go home with you after. But you're not paying her for sex. You're not paying her for sex.
She's just being friendly.
Yeah, she's just being friendly.
Hospitality culture, man.
Exactly. Ooh, Grizz wants to know what us kids mean when we say cyberpunk. You got an answer for him, Mr. Skank? Mr. Editor?
I don't have a succinct answer.
Mm-hmm.
Grizz is PBK.
Grizz is PVK?
Yeah, oh shoot, I did.
Like boomer coded, you mean, or what are you?
Yeah, I'm teasing, but PVK I think asked that exact question.
No, I saw that. I've been meaning to find the time to just make a brief video that responds to that with just like describing the TLC for 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's cyberpunk, people chronically addicted to talking to each other on YouTube, constantly hooked into the internet through headphones and videos.
If you watch the show Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and then you think of it in terms of like that's the future that we're headed towards, or Ghost in the Shell is another good one. Basically, like you have humanity headed towards this dystopian vision of the future, but one that is like powered by cybernetic implants and enhancements. And that
the blend too with post-humanism, this idea of like being no longer human.
Mm-hmm. And then the punk aspect of it is that like there's an underclass of people that are trying to fight back against that homogenizing influence.
And almost always unsuccessfully, and
tragically,
tragedy,
fatally. Yeah.
So there's this huge machine that's destroying everything, and you know you can fight against it or you won't, but really in the end it really doesn't matter. At least that's how it's normally portrayed. In the postmodern genre it is.
Slack's still waiting for his data jack and implants.
Well, didn't a new guy just
keep
get the
running an earbud
Neuralink?
in? You're halfway there.
What were you saying, Foxman?
I was gonna say, didn't a new guy just get Neuralink recently? There was that one guy a while back, and I think there's another guy who just got it.
Yep.
So Slack just get on the list.
What could go wrong?
I've also been seeing people make the Metal Gear Solid, or at least ones that look like the Metal Gear Solid prosthetic arm for themselves.
Well, there's one guy, this is super niche, who there's a lot of really weird restrictions on developing medical prosthetics. And so he was a partial amputee where he lost, I think, 3 of his fingers on his left hand. And so he's been doing a ton of development work to try and create a prosthetic that works better than anything that's on the market currently. And he's tried to want to release it out to other people to be able to sell it as a product because he sees how useful it is for him, and can't because of all of the regulatory restrictions. And so the best he's been able to do is say, hey, here's all the designs and plans, you can make a kit for yourself and then build it if you want to, but he can't sell it directly to people, which is super annoying. But yeah. So yeah, the implants do look kind of squiddish from Grizz. They covered the ALS guy's speech. Neo-dandies have no idea what punk even means. I would argue that a lot of the quote-unquote punk scene nowadays doesn't know what punk means. Skank probably has some thoughts on that one.
Okay, I was muted.
I mean, some do and some don't. I mean, there's plenty of the bands that are kind of active about being participants in the tradition and continuing the tradition. I mean, they'll talk about things about how punk and ska have always been anti-racist and stuff like that. So there's a lot of bands that will make clear there is an ideological component to this scene. If you're not on board with that, you're not really this. So I mean, there's a lot of punk gatekeepers. So
seems rather ironic because doesn't that run counter to the punk is the against the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Well, who was saying that there was was it you, Skank, talking about the Blue Man Group?
Yeah.
Thing. That element of the boomers are for the most part, some of the origin of where some of these punk feelings came from. But as these generations get older, they're the ones inheriting all the institutions, but they still claim to be anti-institutional. It's like Rage Against the Machine advocating for a major political party's candidate.
Yeah, hey, Rage did it. I mean, Bad Religion did it as well.
Never was a Rage Against the damn machine.
I mean, just the fact that the only place you can go to see Rage Against the Machine these days is Lolla frickin' Palooza.
Can't parody this thing, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think punk as a scene is sort of it's inherently parasitic, and they run into the problem of having a negative, reactive, reactionary identity.
Yep.
And again, it is something that's passion-driven rather than virtue-driven.
Well, I guess
Well,
kinda,
and I was gonna say it suffers from the negative identity, right? It's a lack of something, not for anything in particular.
identification.
And so you can have that be co-opted by whoever.
Yeah, I mean, getting a little bit into the anarchy discussion I had with Luke the other day. I mean, I didn't need to touch at this point, but there's negative anarchy and then there is positive anarchy.
Mhm.
There is just, I hate anybody telling me what to do. And so that's a reactionary, sort of like oppositional defiance disorder or whatever,
Mhm.
versus like, I believe in a world that functions without the levers of coercion being applied. And so they're striving to build a society or striving to build a community that is not driven by the stick.
Mhm. But it's
Uh,
the
but
focus is fundamentally generative there, though.
right. And that's where you get a little bit more kind of like the hippies, more communes,
Mm.
where somebody like Sherry might get like really kind of like dig that kind of anarchism. Where it's like, yeah, no, like self-sustaining, live off the grid, don't be beholden to the powers that be, trying to live a life that is not uh, complicit in all of the injustices you see in the various forms that society that are load bearing in society.
Mm-hmm. Well, in trying to construct some manner of supports, so that way you can eventually like move that load-bearing portion off, like, or that you can support the part and take out what is currently load-bearing but shouldn't exist in the first place. Or maybe it was like put in place by people who didn't know how to do it any differently, and then it just got left and built on top of, built on top of, built on top of. And so it wasn't meant to be load-bearing, but it just ended up being load-bearing at the end.
Yeah, or I like say like in construction, things that were just sort of like temporary joists while you are trying to build up the actual structure
Yep.
end up becoming essential.
Yep. Meant to be temporary, but nothing more permanent than a temporary solution. Oh, he slashes here. Slack asks, which version of Anarchy is the one where I get to control everything?
There's our tanky.
Mm-hmm.
Been meaning to write it, and I'll probably do it right after the stream. But a piece on different ways that we respond to the arena or like the game that's put in front of us. I think there's a tendency to either, the Skinner box, to either like give into it and just play along, or to resist it and try to just not engage in it. Say, I don't have to play the game, I'm not going to play the game. Another big one is like trying to, I phrase it as like terraform, like to transform the arena into the game that you want to be playing. But I think the one that doesn't get enough attention is the subtle kind of using the arena for just purposes, like repurposing what's there towards a different game. That's kind of what I see. Jesus does a few different ones of these. That's the one I see with like the Shrewd Manager, or give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, what is God's unto God's. Like he's playing with these kind of these ideas, and he's within the bounds of the system, but he's at the same time being kind of, I don't know,
duplicitous.
He's being clever, right? He's being shrewd with the way that he's working. He's doing the innocentest doves but shrewdest servants thing.
I was
But
gonna
then
say,
other
are
times
you,
he goes right into it and says, I'm going to be tried, and I'm not going to try to wiggle my way out of it, even if I could.
so you could do it as a war between the serpent maxers and the dove maxers?
Well, that's
Yeah,
the thing is you're not supposed to max either of them. You're supposed to
Right.
balance. Slack misses me dying on stream. I'm sorry. The next game I pick, I will do something that I die on stream for. Speaking of, it's 9:44. I think I'm gonna call it, guys. I thought I was gonna finish
That's
this
very
stream,
fair.
but yeah, I think that it lasts another one more day. One day more.
Yes, gents.
Yeah, it's
Night
good to see you,
Parlato.
Matthew. Monsieur Parlato. Alright.
Monsieur.
Anybody want to volunteer to take us out?
I botched it last time, so I'm
I was going to say, I don't know if I'd do much better.
Goodbye, then. Be safe, friends. Don't you dare go hollow. Have a good night, everybody.
No,
Good night.